Chapter 3741, The True Fire Great Tao. The vacuum zone and the spirit domain differed in many ways. Here, the great Taos erupted in brilliant displays of light, and through this radiance, Lin Moyu faintly glimpsed the scene hidden behind the massive pair of eyes. It was a colossal head, though the fissure made it impossible to discern its exact appearance. However, he could vaguely see enormous scales on the head. This was an immense and terrifying entity, transcending the Great Tao itself, a being capable of controlling the fearsome Great Tao tribulation. Faced with such an existence, even the will of the Great Tao seemed insignificant. Suddenly, Lin Moyu felt as though those eyes were looking directly at him. Their gaze was filled with a warning, as if cautioning him. Instinctively, Lin Moyu shifted his attention away. He dared not continue observing. Angering such a being would undoubtedly lead to death, rendering his rebirth ability useless. Boom! Thunder roared as the Great Tao tribulation officially descended. As before, it began with the Great Tao lightning tribulation, followed by the Great Tao essence fire. The elemental lich had been born from immortality fire and was unafraid of the Great Tao essence fire. As long as it could endure the heavenly thunder tribulation, it would successfully pass through. Thunder rumbled, and black tribulation clouds flashed with lightning. Lin Moyu noticed that amidst the lightning flashes, there was a faint trace of crimson. Each time lightning flashed, this crimson hue appeared alongside it. The surrounding void grew increasingly hot, making Lin Moyu feel as though he were in a sea of fire. Even with his strength, he felt the heat, a temperature likely exceeding billions of degrees. Yet there were no flames visible around him, it was simply heat. During the Sword Tao Lich's Great Tao tribulation, there had been no such phenomenon. This indicated that it was caused by this particular elemental lich. Little Python whispered, "Master, it's so hot." Lin Moyu noticed that Little Python's body was emitting steam. Its soul was being scorched by high temperatures and slowly melting. However, Little Python felt no pain despite its soul melting, a truly bizarre occurrence. Could this be the power of the elemental lich? Lin Moyu thought with alarm and immediately signaled Little Python to retreat. If this continued, Little Python might die without ever understanding how it happened. Watching from a distance carries risks. Lacking sufficient strength means even observing can be dangerous. As they moved away from the heavenly thunder tribulation, the temperature quickly dropped. Little Python exclaimed, "That's strange, it's not hot anymore." It had no idea what had just transpired. Lin Moyu didn't explain but continued watching the heavenly thunder tribulation from afar. Amidst the thunder clouds, dense crimson hues floated alongside flashes of lightning. At this moment, Lin Moyu was certain that the rising temperatures were caused by the elemental lich. She wasn't peacefully undergoing her tribulation, she was actively resisting the heavenly thunder tribulation. It seems this little one has quite a temper. Lin Moyu chuckled softly, confident that she would successfully pass through her tribulation. He then turned his attention further away. The five-element giant and primordial beast were still locked in battle. They were so engrossed in their fight that they ignored everything else around them. Their powers were evenly matched, neither could gain an advantage over the other. The battle would likely continue until after the Great Tao tribulation ended. Wave after wave of heavenly thunder struck but failed to harm the elemental lich. Next came the descent of the Great Tao essence fire. Born from immortality fire, the elemental lich showed no fear of essence fire whatsoever. Gradually, the essence fire began to weaken and eventually extinguished. Based on his previous experience with tribulations, Lin Moyu expected this to mark its conclusion, but it didn't end here. Those massive eyes still stared at the tribulation clouds. "There's more." Lin Moyu noticed this anomaly and felt puzzled. However, he had only experienced one previous tribulation and lacked extensive knowledge about them. Suddenly, an inexplicable wind blew through. Lin Moyu felt a chill down his spine and immediately shouted, "Retreat." He signaled for Little Python to move back. Although Little Python felt nothing unusual, it obediently retreated far away without hesitation. Lin Moyu recognized this wind, it was identical to what he had encountered in the Beast Abyss, capable of scattering souls completely. Skeleton generals facing such winds would perish instantly, they couldn't withstand it at all. To encounter such a wind here after essence fire meant its power surpassed even that of essence fire itself. Lin Moyu worried for his newly born elemental lich. "I hope she can endure this." There was nothing he could do but hope her luck held out. Suddenly, crimson light rose from within the pitch-black tribulation clouds, transforming them into a sea of fire. The wind blew against these fiery clouds but failed to extinguish them. Instead, it distorted their shapes endlessly without success. The elemental lich truly resisted using her own power to defy the Great Tao tribulation. Within these fiery clouds emerged a crimson-colored Great Tao, a type Lin Moyu had never seen before. It resembled fire but wasn't exactly fire. Just one glance made Lin Moyu feel an overwhelming sense of danger. What kind of lich did I summon this time? Lin Moyu muttered to himself, realizing he might have summoned an exceptionally powerful lich, or rather that this primordial origin treasure material was extraordinarily potent. The wind continued blowing but couldn't extinguish the crimson flames. After half an hour passed, it finally subsided. Those massive eyes stopped focusing on the tribulation clouds. Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief. He knew that the heavenly thunder tribulation had passed successfully. As soon as this thought crossed his mind, those gigantic eyes slowly closed again and darkness fell once more over everything around him. In that instant, Lin Moyu found himself plunged into complete darkness and solitude. Even his thoughts ceased functioning as all connections with Great Taos vanished entirely. The world seemed unrelated to him anymore. And yet all this occurred simply because those eyes closed momentarily. After some time passed, how long he couldn't tell, everything returned to normal again. Lin Moyu exhaled deeply as tribulation clouds dispersed completely. A cute little lich with bright red hair wearing a bib-like garment zipped over excitedly toward him. She stopped abruptly before him like someone hitting brakes hard and exclaimed joyfully, "Master! I passed my heavenly thunder tribulation." Lin Moyu could feel her affection for him radiating strongly and smiled warmly back at her. "Tell me, what Great Tao do you possess?" The elemental lich called out excitedly, "I possess true fire Great Tao." True fire Great Tao? Lin Moyu hadn't heard of such a Great Tao before. Fire Great Tao is considered ancestral among all flames, a foundational origin level path, but true fire sounded like something derived from destruction level branches. Yet judging by its sheer potency, it seemed far beyond ordinary flame paths. It could even summon forth heavenly punishment itself. The elemental lich added eagerly, "Master, I don't have a name yet, please give me one." Lin Moyu replied thoughtfully, "First tell me more about true fire, then I'll choose an appropriate name for you." Tilting her head slightly while pondering deeply, the elemental lich explained slowly yet surely. "I'm not entirely sure myself, but I know true fire can ignite all things, destroying heaven itself if necessary. Yet strangely enough, you can't see its flames. It burns worlds silently without leaving traces behind. All living beings have true fire within them, and so long as their true fire remains intact, even scattered souls may find reincarnation eventually. But true fire Great Tao can detonate true fires entirely, obliterating every trace, utterly, even denying reincarnation itself." Listening carefully, Lin Moyu finally understood what true fire represented and his expression grew serious. "So it's this path. ko-fi.com/translate-toki, only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3742, 3742. Chapter 3742, The True Fire Tao Spirit. Lin Moyu finally remembered where he had seen the true fire Great Tao before. It was during his perilous journey to the returning origin land after leaving the origin ancestral land. The returning origin land is the ultimate destination for all true body Great Tao lords, where they can project their Great Taos across the myriad worlds. True body Great Tao lords are already eternal and indestructible. As long as their Great Tao remains intact, they cannot die. Yet even these eternal beings have their pursuits, to project their Great Taos across all worlds, achieving unparalleled dominance. No matter where they go, they would be invincible, capable of contending even with the most powerful world wills. To become a true body Great Tao Lord requires an unshakable Tao heart. These individuals have lofty ambitions and unwavering determination. Despite countless years and numerous true body Great Tao Lords, only about 20 have successfully projected their Great Taos into the returning origin land. Lin Moyu himself saw only around 20 during his time there. At that time, Lin Moyu walked the path of the immortality Great Tao. He vividly recalled receiving many congratulatory messages from those pinnacle-level true-body Great Tao Lords in the returning origin land. It was also there that Lin Moyu glimpsed the true fire Great Tao. He remembered its crimson glow, seemingly filled with countless flames burning within, yet no fire was visible. Back then, he merely glanced at it without knowing its name. But one thing was certain, only origin-level Great Taos were qualified to enter the returning origin land. Furthermore, any Great Tao capable of entering the returning origin land was immensely powerful. The true fire Great Tao's presence in the returning origin land indicated its extraordinary strength, far surpassing that of the fire Great Tao. Moreover, it had a true body great Tao Lord, a being who was eternal and had reached the pinnacle of existence. Such beings would have long replaced their world's will in their own worlds, ensuring situations like those in the origin continent could never occur. Lin Moyu couldn't contain his joy upon realizing his elemental lich had replicated this formidable true fire great Tao. The true fire great Tao governs the annihilation of all true souls. Lin Moyu had previously understood that during reincarnation, living beings retain their true souls and fate. True souls are difficult to destroy, but all things possess yin and yang. If something exists, it must also be capable of destruction. The true fire great Tao can obliterate all true souls, showcasing its unparalleled strength, a power Lin Moyu found difficult to measure. What excited him most was that his own world lacked this particular great Tao, and now it had been supplemented through his elemental lich. The elemental lich eagerly looked at Lin Moyu, waiting for him to give her a name. Without much thought, Lin Moyu decided, since he already had a sword Tao spirit, he would now have a true fire Tao spirit. Naming her after her great Tao was simple and convenient. "You'll be called True Fire Tao Spirit," Lin Moyu said. The True Fire Tao Spirit let out a joyful cry and began flying around excitedly. "From now on, I'll be called True Fire Tao Spirit." Watching her cheerful demeanor filled Lin Moyu's heart with warmth and familiarity. In the distance, powerful energy fluctuations continued as the five-element giant and primordial beast battled. Xiaoshang's body showed multiple damages but remained unaffected in terms of combat power. The primordial beast also bore numerous wounds that were quickly healing, mere superficial injuries making it difficult for either side to gain an advantage. The True Fire Tao Spirit asked, "Master, should I go burn it to death?" Lin Moyu asked, "Can you burn it to death?" The True Fire Tao Spirit tilted her head thoughtfully, "I think I can." "No rush, let them fight a bit longer," Lin Moyu replied. He knew the True Fire Tao Spirit indeed possessed such power but saw value in letting the primordial beast continue battling the five-element giant. He wanted to observe further. The primordial beast and Xiaoshang were fully engrossed in their fight, neither yielding an inch as they clashed fiercely. Eventually, Little Python closed its eyes and began dozing off out of boredom. Meanwhile, the True Fire Tao Spirit perched lazily on Lin Moyu's shoulder, equally uninterested in watching further. Only Lin Moyu remained deeply engaged in observing, his mind brimming with ideas. If these ideas could be implemented, the five-element giant's combat power would undoubtedly improve further, not enough to contend with world wills in their shaping stage but certainly capable of rivaling those in their formation stage. Against world wills like that of the four-armed tribe, Lin Moyu believed he could rely on the five-element giant to hold its ground effectively. Lin Moyu murmured softly, "I've seen enough." The True Fire Tao Spirit perked up immediately, "Master, can I go burn it now?" Lin Moyu was about to agree when he suddenly looked into the distance. "Wait, someone's coming." His expression showed surprise. It was unusual for people to appear in the vacuum zone between great spirit domains, and there were more than one. Through his undead eye, Lin Moyu saw 6 soul flames approaching rapidly. Judging by their intensity, they belonged to 6 great Tao lords. Soon enough, 6 figures appeared within view, all human. "Humans!" Lin Moyu exclaimed in surprise upon realizing they were human great Tao lords. The Soul Heart King had once said humans were a dominant race, many worlds were led by humans. However, despite visiting dozens of worlds himself, Lin Moyu had never encountered humans until now. The 6 human great Tao lords arrived together. They first noticed the battle between the primordial beast and five-element giant before turning their attention to Lin Moyu. Seeing that Lin Moyu was also human surprised them as well. Their shared humanity naturally elicited emotional responses visible even as soul bodies, something Lin Moyu easily discerned. They maintained some distance from him while showing cautious expressions mixed with curiosity. One figure stepped forward and stopped 10,000 meters away from Lin Moyu. His soul vibrated through the void as his voice reached Lin Moyu's ears. "Shi Haifeng greets you." "Since we're all humans here," Shi Haifeng continued warmly, "there's no need for introductions about our race." Lin Moyu nodded slightly in greeting. "Lin Moyu greets you." Shi Haifeng asked, "May I inquire if this formation puppet belongs to you?" Lin Moyu replied calmly, "Yes, it is mine." Confirming this connection between Lin Moyu and the five-element giant prompted Shi Haifeng to speak boldly. "We wish to propose a trade with you." "Let's hear it," Lin Moyu said cautiously. Despite being fellow humans, they were strangers. Mutual vigilance remained necessary when dealing with unknown parties proposing trades. Shi Haifeng explained, To be frank, we seek ownership of this primordial beast formed by the great Taos. Name your price. So it really is called a primordial beast, just prefixed with great Tao. The primordial beast stood right there before them despite having 6 great Tao lords among them capable of taking it by force. They chose negotiation instead, appearing reasonable enough at first glance. Lin Moyu knew little about primordial beasts. Killing or sparing them mattered little personally, but clearly these 6 valued its existence greatly. Given this apparent value, it made sense for him to set reasonable terms. I don't mind relinquishing ownership over this primordial beast, Lin Moyu began thoughtfully but added firmly. In exchange, I request detailed information regarding this vacuum zone between domains, whatever you know, comprehensive details preferred. Believing his demand fair given circumstances, Shi Haifeng expressed mild surprise but quickly agreed. That's all, Shi Haifeng confirmed incredulously. That's enough, affirmed Lin Moyu. Without hesitation, Shi Haifeng condensed glowing orbs imbued richly with knowledge, then tossed them toward Lin Moyu. Please review thoroughly, Shi Haifeng concluded respectfully. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3743, 3743. Chapter 3743, The Great Tao Primordial Beast. Shi Haifeng displayed great courtesy, handing over the bargaining chip to Lin Moyu before receiving any benefits. Lin Moyu activated his soul power, touched the glowing orb, and instantly absorbed a wealth of information. The vacuum zone between great spirit domains is a perilous area where great Taos constantly collide, erupting in dazzling displays of light. These continuous impacts make it dangerous for anyone below the 3rd-tier soul level or great Tao realm to enter, as they would quickly be torn apart by the chaotic great Tao forces. This distinguishes the vacuum zones between great spirit domains from those between small spirit domains. In the latter, only specific danger zones where great Taos collide pose a threat, while most areas remain relatively safe. However, in the vacuum zones between great spirit domains, danger is omnipresent, though its intensity varies. Instead of sudden bursts of harm, it inflicts continuous damage. For those above the 3rd-tier soul level or great Tao realm, this danger is manageable. Hidden within these dazzling displays lies the virtual real secret realm, which represents the true danger of this area. Sometimes it is clearly visible, other times it merges with the brilliance of the great Taos. Only by entering can one truly understand its nature. The virtual real secret realm bridges reality and illusion. Entering it is fraught with peril even for great Tao lords where survival is uncertain. Beyond this secret realm lies another threat in the vacuum zone, massive creatures known as great Tao primordial beasts. The origins of these beasts remain unknown. What is certain is their immense power, which surpasses that of great Tao lords. Many great Tao lords have perished at their hands. However, killing a great Tao primordial beast yields primordial beast essence, a rare and extraordinary material that serves as a potent supplement for world wills. Consuming this essence can significantly strengthen a world will. As a result, many worlds' great Tao lords follow their world wills, commands to venture into this zone in search of these beasts to hunt them down. Unfortunately, great Tao primordial beasts are exceedingly rare and often remain undiscovered for long periods. Once found, they are rarely spared. Shi Haifeng and his 5 companions had entered this vacuum zone specifically to locate and capture a great Tao primordial beast for their world. Shi Haifeng asked, "Does this information satisfy you?" Although not overly detailed, the information was sufficient for Lin Moyu's purposes. Lin Moyu nodded. "Thank you, Shi Daoyu. Since that's the case, I'll leave this great Tao primordial beast to you." Shi Haifeng's face lit up with joy. "Thank you, Lin Daoyu." With that, he gestured to his companions, who immediately surrounded the beast and Lin Moyu's 5-element giant. The 6 of them formed a peculiar formation around the 2 entities. Each took out treasures over 100 in total, which flew into position throughout the area. Once activated, these treasures emitted countless threads that wove together into a massive net. Within this net, all great Tao forces were expelled. Deprived of their support from the great Taos, both the 5-element giant and the primordial beast saw their power drastically reduced. Shi Haifeng said, "Please withdraw your formation." Lin Moyu nodded and recalled his 5-element giant. The primordial beast was unwilling to let its opponent escape and immediately gave chase. "Bind," Shi Haifeng commanded in a low voice. Countless threads shot out from the net, instantly binding the primordial beast. The beast struggled violently, snapping many threads. However, more threads continuously emerged from the net to replace those broken. The bindings on the beast grew ever tighter. Shi Haifeng left an opening in the formation for Lin Moyu's 5-element giant to exit safely. Lin Moyu watched with interest. It was clear that Shi Haifeng and his team were highly experienced in dealing with primordial beasts and had prepared specialized treasures for this purpose. The massive net formed by over 100 treasures created an intricate formation centered on Shi Haifeng and his companions' positions. The threads not only restrained the beast but also significantly weakened its strength. The 6 Tao Lords fully activated their formation, using themselves as its core. By integrating their powers through the formation, they launched concentrated attacks on specific points of the primordial beast's defenses. This focused assault disrupted the beast's formidable regenerative abilities and gradually wore down its defenses layer by layer. Although it struggled fiercely, its efforts were futile against the overwhelming number of threads binding it. For every thread it broke, more took its place. The coordinated attacks from Shi Haifeng's group further exacerbated its plight. Its once impenetrable defenses were being systematically dismantled faster than they could regenerate. From Lin Moyu's perspective as an observer, however, things weren't as one-sided as they appeared. He could tell that Shi Haifeng and his companions were exerting themselves fully in this battle. Killing a great Tao primordial beast was no easy feat. Every attack required their combined strength to be effective. Without unity, their efforts would have been in vain. What intrigued Lin Moyu most was their formation technique. Unlike his divine rune-based formations, theirs relied on an array of treasures woven into a unique artifact formation hybrid. The effectiveness of their formation depended on both the quality of their treasures and their own strength as cultivators. If stronger treasures were used, such as those at the level of true body great Tao Lords, the formation's power would increase exponentially. Even fewer treasures would suffice. 10 or 20 would be enough to ensure that no primordial beast could resist them. Lin Moyu saw potential in this approach. With his expertise in formations, he memorized their setup after just one observation and began contemplating ways to improve it further. Although he lacked such an abundance of high-level treasures himself, he did possess dozens of primordial virtual treasures, artifacts owned by small spirit domain kings that were comparable in rank to top-tier treasures used by these cultivators in this realm. Using these primordial virtual treasures as components for a formation would yield results far superior to Shi Haifeng's setup. As for who would serve as cores for such a formation, Lin Moyu considered using his elemental lich alongside his sword Tao spirit and true fire spirit, and perhaps even himself if necessary, but 3 more cores would still be needed. If I can find 3 more pieces of treasure material, Lin Moyu thought to himself, I could summon additional elemental liches and use this formation effectively. This idea remained preliminary for now. Ideally speaking though, it wasn't just about replicating others' techniques but rather integrating them directly into his 5-element giant itself. If successful, he mused further, the 5-element giant alone could handle even primordial beasts without me needing to intervene personally. Before proceeding further though, it was imperative first to repair existing damage sustained by his 5-element giant during earlier battles. Lin Moyu split his focus between observing Shi Haifeng's group while simultaneously channeling divine runes into repairing his giant. Once repairs were complete, he didn't stop there, instead taking things one step further by integrating Soul Shaking Mountain, a primordial virtual treasure gifted previously by Soul Heart King, directly into its structure. Soul Shaking Mountain contained vast internal space capable of easily storing hundreds more giants like itself. By embedding pre-configured divine rune arrays within its depths, it ensured automatic repairs whenever external damage occurred moving forward. Finally, turning attention toward crafting specialized equipment tailored specifically to enhance overall performance capabilities moving ahead. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3744, 3744. Chapter 3744, The Prison Primordial Formation. Using the insights he had recently gathered, Lin Moyu wove a layer of armor for the 5-element giant using numerous divine runes. With this enhancement, the 5-element giant's defensive capabilities increased by more than double, along with an impressive ability to recover. Its combat power had risen significantly, and Lin Moyu believed that the 5-element giant could now hold its own against the world will of the 4-armed tribe. While it wouldn't be able to win outright, Lin Moyu was confident that it wouldn't lose within a month. However, these changes were not transformative. They hadn't fundamentally altered its nature. Lin Moyu already had plans in mind for how to bring about such a transformation in the five-element giant's combat power. As he continued modifying the five-element giant, Lin Moyu kept an eye on Shi Haifeng and his companions as they battled the great Tao primordial beast. Under their relentless assault, the primordial beast finally began to crumble, its body gradually breaking apart as it approached death. Its struggles grew weaker and weaker until its body completely shattered, leaving behind only a small orb of soft light in the void, a fist-sized orb known as primordial beast essence. Shi Haifeng's earlier information had mentioned that primordial beast essence was highly beneficial to world wills but hadn't explained why. Now Lin Moyu understood. The primordial beast essence contained immense great Tao power, making it an ideal nourishment for world wills. Lin Moyu didn't know what kind of existence Shi Haifeng's world will was or why they sought to strengthen it. But since they were doing so, there must be a reason great Tao lords wouldn't act without benefit. Shi Haifeng and his companions had expended considerable energy battling the primordial beast. Their souls appeared visibly weakened by about 30%. Carefully collecting the primordial beast essence, Shi Haifeng bowed slightly toward Lin Moyu. "Thank you, Lin Daoyu." Lin Moyu replied, "We each got what we needed, there's no need for such courtesy." He added curiously, "I do have some questions, could Shi Daoyu help me understand?" Having dealt with the primordial beast, Shi Haifeng and his companions seemed in good spirits. As 6 great Tao lords, they had no reason to fear Lin Moyu anymore, and their caution diminished significantly. Shi Haifeng said, "We need to recover anyway, feel free to ask your question." Since they came from different worlds, Lin Moyu didn't feel the need to hold back. "What is your world's relationship with its world will?" Shi Haifeng smiled upon hearing this. "You want to know why we collect primordial beast essence to strengthen our world will, correct?" Lin Moyu nodded. "Indeed, it's puzzling." Shi Haifeng said, "It seems your world's world will isn't very friendly." Lin Moyu asked curiously, "Is your world's world will friendly?" Shi Haifeng shook his head. "It's not about being friendly or unfriendly, our world will has no thoughts, it's just a puppet." Lin Moyu was stunned by this revelation. What did that mean? Shi Haifeng explained, "In our world, a powerful being became the world's master. But instead of destroying the world will, he erased its intelligence and turned it into his puppet. Now our world will is our most powerful warrior, it defends us against external threats. So when we use primordial beast essence to strengthen our world will, we're actually strengthening ourselves." Lin Moyu was shocked. "That's incredible. Normally, when someone becomes a world's master, their first action is to eliminate the world will because its existence poses a threat to them. They wouldn't allow it to develop intelligence or take form. But someone had managed to erase a world will's intelligence and turn it into their puppet. How was that even possible?" Lin Moyu thought about it and realized there were many contradictions in this scenario. How could this be done? Once a world will takes form, it won't allow a world's master to appear. And if a world's master does appear, they won't allow the world will to complete its development or take form. Shi Haifeng laughed. "That's something I can't answer because we don't know either. All we can say is that our world's master achieved it, and not just him, many other world's masters have done so too. If you stay in this vacuum zone long enough, you might encounter other teams also hunting great Tao primordial beasts." Lin Moyu nodded. "Thank you for sharing this knowledge, it has been enlightening." Shi Haifeng waved dismissively. "No need for thanks, I see great potential in you, Lin Daoyu. Perhaps one day you'll become a world's master yourself and uncover these secrets firsthand. Well then, we must take our leave now. Until we meet again." Lin Moyu bowed slightly toward Shi Haifeng. "Until we meet again." The 6 Tao lords turned and left quickly, disappearing from sight. Their conversation broadened Lin Moyu's understanding. It seemed possible for a world's master and its world will to coexist under certain conditions. However, there were undoubtedly specific methods involved. It wasn't something anyone could achieve at will. The exact process could only be learned from those who had already succeeded as world's masters. The discernment beast likely knew as well but hadn't mentioned it, probably because such methods weren't practical for Lin Moyu due to various limitations. After they left, the vacuum zone returned to its dazzling state. Lin Moyu activated a void-sealing divine rune. The 1,000 paths and myriad images formation appeared and enveloped both himself and the 5-element giant within its protective bounds. The Sword Tao spirit emerged alongside the true fire spirit. The 2 elemental liches exchanged curious glances at each other. Lin Moyu instructed them, "Guard me, don't let anyone approach." Both elemental liches responded affirmatively and positioned themselves outside the formation as guards. With them present, no great Tao Lord could come near. If both unleashed their full power together, even great Tao primordial beasts would fall. Lin Moyu took out all his primordial virtual treasures, a total of 52 pieces including soul-shaking mountain, and set aside 3 while keeping 49 for use. He began releasing divine runes one by one until they formed an intricate formation into which all 49 treasures were integrated as cores. Although these treasures varied in attributes, Lin Moyu filtered their energies through his formation using divine runes, extracting only their pure essence. Because they were all primordial virtual treasures with similar characteristics, they worked seamlessly together. Drawing inspiration from Shi Haifeng's earlier formation while incorporating his own understanding, Lin Moyu transformed it into a divine rune-based formation enhanced by primordial virtual treasures. Though lacking 6 great Tao Lords like Shi Haifeng's group, Lin Moyu devised an alternative solution. He had Xiaoshang control the 5-element giant, splitting its forces into gold, metal, wood, earth, water, liquid, fire, flame, and earth, solid, to serve as substitutes for 6 cores. His creativity was boundless, turning others' techniques into his own seamlessly, and would surely astonish Shi Haifeng's group if they saw how quickly he adapted their methods. Once completed, the formation was integrated directly into the 5-element giant itself, transforming it into an artifact imbued with immense power. This formation shall be named Prison Primordial Formation. Now all that's left is finding a suitable weapon, Lin Moyu mused thoughtfully before turning his attention towards Sword Tao Spirit with a mischievous smile forming at his lips. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3745, 3745. Chapter 3745. Playing with fire. The Sword Tao Spirit, having replicated the true body of the Sword Great Tao, could transform into an unparalleled weapon. Although it was forbidden for the spirit itself to attack, Lin Moyu realized a loophole. If the Sword Tao Spirit transformed into a sword and was wielded by the 5-element giant, it wouldn't technically be attacking on its own. It would simply serve as a sharp weapon. Lin Moyu felt confident in exploiting this technicality. This should work. He dismissed the 1,000 paths and myriad images formation, revealing the vacuum zone once more. Gesturing to the Sword Tao Spirit, he said, "Transform into a sword." The Sword Tao Spirit obediently transformed into a slender sword, perfectly sized for Lin Moyu to wield. Lin Moyu shook his head. "Not for me, make it bigger so it can be used by the giant." "Got it." The Sword Tao Spirit replied cheerfully and instantly enlarged itself. The Sword Great Tao's immense power surged through its blade, which grew larger and larger until it exceeded 10,000 meters in length. Lin Moyu signaled Xiaoshang to test it. The 5-element giant gripped the massive sword in its right hand and swung it forcefully through the void. The Sword Great Tao roared as the blade tore through space, creating a massive rift that disappeared moments later but left a lasting impression. Creating spatial rifts in the soul void was no small feat. Not even great Tao Lords or world wills like that of the 4-armed tribe could achieve this. This single swing demonstrated power surpassing that of the 4-armed tribe's world will. This was true transformation, a qualitative leap in combat power. With the Sword Tao Spirit paired with the 5-element giant, Lin Moyu now had sufficient strength to contend with world wills in their formation stage. Satisfied with the results, Lin Moyu remarked, "Excellent performance. Until I find a suitable treasure, the Sword Tao Spirit won't be integrated into my world." He then recalled both the 5-element giant and his elemental liches before continuing deeper into the vacuum zone. As they resumed their journey, Little Python finally broke its silence. "Master, I didn't realize there were such powerful entities in this vacuum zone." Lin Moyu replied, "The Great Tao evolves all things, nothing here should surprise you." Little Python continued, "Those 6 great Tao Lords were impressive, they easily killed that primordial beast." Impressive. Lin Moyu disagreed. He had observed that all 6 had exerted themselves fully to kill the beast. Each had consumed at least half their power, an extraordinary feat considering how quickly great Tao Lords typically recover their strength. For them to struggle so much despite working together demonstrated just how formidable primordial beasts truly were. Moreover, their success was largely due to Lin Moyu's 5-element giant distracting the beast, allowing them time to set up their formation. Without that advantage, their task would have been far more difficult. Little Python flattered him. "To me, they seemed very strong, but compared to Master, they're nothing. Master is clearly the most powerful." Lin Moyu chuckled lightly but said nothing further. Flying alongside Little Python, Lin Moyu froze great Tao energies along their path using his ice jade lotus platform. Several days passed without encountering another primordial beast or virtual real spirit realm. Lin Moyu wasn't actively searching for them. His destination was the World Tree Great Spirit Domain to locate the Lord of Hell. While admiring the dazzling displays of great Taos along their journey, Lin Moyu eventually grew tired of them and found them obstructive rather than beautiful. He closed his eyes to avoid looking at them further. Skeleton generals flew alongside them at intervals of 1,000,000 meters in all directions, using their undead eyes to monitor for anomalies and report immediately if anything arose. After more than 10 days of flight, Lin Moyu suddenly opened his eyes while contemplating formations and pointed toward one side. "Fly that way." Little Python immediately perked up from its sleepy state and followed Lin Moyu's direction while asking, "Master, what happened?" Lin Moyu replied, "Someone's fighting over there, let's check it out, maybe we can intervene." Little Python was puzzled based on its understanding of Lin Moyu's character. He wasn't one to meddle or break up fights. Lin Moyu tapped Little Python's head lightly. "We'll ask for directions and meet some old acquaintances while we're at it." Having flown for over 20 days without encountering anything noteworthy or approaching other entities, Lin Moyu suspected that Great Spirit Domains might have shifted positions during this time. Great Spirit Domains constantly move within the vacuum zone. This is why flying persistently in one direction guarantees eventual arrival at one domain or another. As for when they would reach one, that remained uncertain. Following Lin Moyu's instructions, Little Python flew toward chaotic energy fluctuations that soon became apparent, a mixture of powers layered like waves that distorted space itself. "There are quite a few people fighting, at least 13 great Tao lords," Lin Moyu remarked with amusement upon observing 2 primordial beasts amidst the chaos. Little Python's expression changed. "That many?" Lin Moyu smiled faintly. "In this vast vacuum zone, running into each other is quite serendipitous." Eventually, Little Python discerned what lay ahead and exclaimed softly, "It's Shi Haifeng's group." Indeed, it was Shi Haifeng and his 6 companions battling another group of 7 great Tao lords. Adding to the chaos were 2 primordial beasts, one large and strong, the other smaller and weaker, that attacked indiscriminately against all parties involved. Shi Haifeng's group appeared worse off. 4 members were heavily injured while only 2 from their opponents' side bore injuries. The arrival of Lin Moyu did not go unnoticed by those engaged in combat. Upon seeing him, Shi Haifeng shouted loudly, "Lin Daoyu! Leave quickly, don't get involved." Lin Moyu frowned slightly. Shi Haifeng's shout seemed less like advice and more like an attempt to drag him into their conflict. The opposing 7 great Tao lords would naturally assume Lin Moyu was allied with Shi Haifeng even if he wasn't, and would likely target him as well. Moreover, as only a second-tier soul, Lin Moyu would seem inconsequential in their eyes, yet still warrant elimination. Shi Haifeng knew Lin Moyu's capabilities well enough. His intent was clearly to use Lin Moyu as additional support against their adversaries, a pragmatic move but one that left Lin Moyu displeased at being manipulated. Suddenly Little Python warned, "Master, someone is coming." Among the 7 opposing great Tao lords, one broke away from his group and flew toward Lin Moyu with sharp eyes filled with killing intent. This individual resembled humans but bore distinct features indicating he wasn't fully human, perhaps half human at best. "Die!" he shouted from 10,000 miles away while launching an attack toward Lin Moyu. Great Tao energies manifested as molten lava cascading through space toward him. Playing with fire, Lin Moyu sneered as he activated his ice jade lotus platform to unleash freezing energy that solidified the lava instantly. Simultaneously, a burst of world-burning fire erupted across 1,000,000 miles, engulfing his attacker entirely amidst agonized screams. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3746, 3746. Chapter 3746, The Alliance of Outsiders. The world-burning fire, while capable of killing a great Tao lord, required significant time and the support of the 1,000 paths and myriad images formation to do so. However, if its purpose was merely to inflict the pain of soul burning, it could be used at any moment without much effort. Amidst agonized screams, the great Tao lord who had been engulfed in the fire charged out of the inferno. His great Tao power erupted as he desperately tried to extinguish the flames. But the world-burning fire was not so easily extinguished. He could only endure the excruciating pain as his soul burned, channeling all his fury toward Lin Moyu. "I'll grind you into dust," he roared as he lunged forward again. Grind into dust. Lin Moyu chuckled lightly. It seemed this phrase was something the man was accustomed to saying in the real world. Without hesitation, Lin Moyu activated a void-sealing divine rune. The thousand paths and myriad images formation descended like a massive net, enveloping the great Tao Lord. His expression changed as he realized something was wrong and instinctively tried to escape. Though his reaction was swift, it wasn't fast enough to evade the rapidly expanding formation. He reached the edge but was still trapped within its bounds. Lin Moyu sneered, "Do you think you can escape just because you want to?" The world-burning fire intensified within the formation, burning even more fiercely. Coupled with various Great Tao phenomena interwoven into dangerous zones, it subjected the trapped Great Tao Lord to unimaginable torment. From afar, Shi Haifeng narrowed his eyes, a hint of relief flashing across his face. He was glad he hadn't fought Lin Moyu earlier. Seeing their companion trapped and screaming in agony within the formation, another Great Tao Lord shouted angrily, "You insolent brat! A mere second-tier soul dares provoke us. You're courting death." Another figure charged toward Lin Moyu, intent on killing him and rescuing their comrade. Lin Moyu responded by releasing another void-sealing divine rune. Xiao Shang controlled the five-element giant, which emerged without hesitation and threw a punch. The five-element giant's punch unleashed a manifestation of five elemental great Taos, shaking the void itself. Towering and imposing, it struck with such force that its target screamed as he was sent flying, his soul severely damaged. The five-element giant could go toe-to-toe with primordial beasts. Dealing with a single Great Tao Lord posed no challenge at all. Its only flaw was its slow speed, which made it less effective for pursuits, but otherwise, it had no weaknesses. With another punch, five elemental dragons materialized from its power and surged toward its opponent. The Great Tao Lord roared in defiance and activated a shield-shaped treasure covered in spikes. The elemental dragons collided with the shield, shattering it instantly and sending him flying once more, this time even more grievously injured than before. His earlier arrogance was now replaced by utter humiliation as he retreated in disgrace. Only now did they realize they had completely underestimated Lin Moyu's strength. The leader of their group muttered grimly, "He's an elite formation master. Use secret techniques to kill him." One of them produced a mirror-shaped treasure that expanded dramatically upon activation, reflecting everything within tens of thousands of miles into its surface. Using a secret technique, he manipulated the mirror so that all other figures disappeared except for Lin Moyu and the two primordial beasts. In reality, this manipulation caused both primordial beasts to turn their attention solely toward Lin Moyu while ignoring everyone else. Shi Haifeng shouted, "Lin Daoyu! Be careful, that mirror can influence primordial beasts." Lin Moyu glanced at Shi Haifeng with a mocking expression that seemed to say, "Do you think I didn't notice? I don't need your warning." His gaze also carried an unmistakable hostility. Shi Haifeng clearly realized that Lin Moyu had seen through his earlier schemes. Both primordial beasts charged at Lin Moyu simultaneously, the smaller one possessing strength comparable to a Great Tao Lord while the larger one surpassed even that. "Perfect timing. I'll use you two to test my sword," Lin Moyu said coldly. With a thought, he summoned the sword Tao spirit into the void. The sword Great Tao manifested as the spirit transformed into a massive sword that landed in the five-element giant's hand. Xiao Shang roared enthusiastically as he activated the prison primordial formation embedded within his left hand. 49 primordial virtual treasures released countless threads that wove together into an intricate net. Sensing danger, both primordial beasts split up and flew in opposite directions. The giant swung its net toward the larger beast while Lin Moyu used his undead eye to instantly identify its true body amidst numerous illusions created by its power. The net ensnared its true form despite its desperate attempts to evade capture. Meanwhile, the smaller beast charged directly at Lin Moyu, its vision manipulated by the mirror so that only he appeared as a target. "Get lost," Xiao Shang bellowed as he swung his sword at it. A single slash sent the smaller beast flying amidst anguished cries while faint spatial cracks appeared in its wake. Lin Moyu had instructed Xiao Shang not to use full force to conserve strength and avoid revealing their true capabilities prematurely. Though wounded, the smaller beast quickly recovered and launched itself at Lin Moyu again. Xiao Shang grabbed hold of the larger beast ensnared by his net and used it as a weapon, swinging it toward its smaller counterpart like a club. The smaller beast screamed as it dodged but remained fixated on attacking Lin Moyu. Another slash from Xiao Shang's sword sent it flying once more before being captured by another volley of threads from the prison primordial formation. Now both beasts were trapped within nets. No amount of struggling could free them. The five-element giant turned its attention toward the mirror in the distance and swung its sword horizontally. The mirror shattered under its attack despite frantic attempts by several great Tao lords to protect it. Kill him, they roared collectively, abandoning thoughts of retreat as they charged at Lin Moyu with murderous intent. Their actions revealed their warlike nature. They valued their comrades too much to leave them behind despite overwhelming odds against them. Lin Moyu smirked. Good, let's keep this family reunion complete. The five-element giant held one net in each hand containing both primordial beasts while wielding its sword against incoming attacks from multiple directions. Its armor gleamed brightly despite sustaining damage from repeated strikes, each crack swiftly repaired by divine runes embedded within its structure. Its sword created an impenetrable barrier around Lin Moyu, preventing any enemy from getting close enough for direct confrontation. Even so, the opposing great Tao lords hesitated before engaging directly with such overwhelming power emanating from both sword and formation alike. Shi Haifeng called out again, Lin Daoyu. These individuals are part of an outsider alliance, you mustn't let them escape. Lin Moyu glanced at Shi Haifeng with disdain. Are you trying to make me play villain? Shi Haifeng replied earnestly. What I did earlier was wrong, I apologize, but this time I speak truthfully. Letting them go will bring endless trouble. Let us join forces with you, we'll eliminate them together here and now. ko-fi.com/translate-toki, only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up, go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3747, 3747. Chapter 3747, Great Tao Punishment. Shi Haifeng acted decisively, leading his group of 6 to attack. They formed a specialized formation and unleashed over 100 treasures designed specifically to deal with Great Tao primordial beasts. The Great Tao lords from the Outsider Alliance found themselves surrounded and overwhelmed. The five-element giant wielded its sword relentlessly, forcing the Outsider Alliance into disarray and allowing Shi Haifeng's group to complete their formation setup. Lin Moyu refrained from killing the Outsider Alliance's Great Tao lords himself. Since Shi Haifeng had offered his allegiance, Lin Moyu decided to let them handle the task. If there were any karmic consequences, they would fall on Shi Haifeng's group. The Outsider Alliance repeatedly attempted to break free but was thwarted by the prison primordial formation, which had already trapped 2 primordial beasts. Though its power was significantly weakened, it still served as an effective barrier, though not for long. Finally, Shi Haifeng's group completed their formation and launched their attack. 4 of their members were already severely injured, and their participation only worsened their condition. Lin Moyu coordinated with them, holding off several Great Tao lords to ease their burden. Shi Haifeng, being the strongest among them, led the charge with Lin Moyu's support, quickly surrounding and killing one of the Outsider Alliance's Great Tao lords. The death of a Great Tao lord echoed through the void as his screams reverberated. Suddenly, one of the Outsider Alliance's Great Tao lords began manifesting a Great Tao behind him while his body rapidly swelled. He's going to self-destruct his Great Tao. Lin Moyu realized with alarm and quickly retreated, along with the five-element giant. Shi Haifeng's group also retreated hastily. A Great Tao's self-destruction was powerful enough to kill even other Great Tao lords within its range. The five-element giant shielded Lin Moyu as it retreated, acting as a meat shield. Little Python closed its eyes tightly in terror as it fled. Boom! The explosion tore through the void, with most of its force directed at the five-element giant. The prison primordial formation was ripped apart, freeing the 2 trapped primordial beasts. Many of the five-element giant's formations were damaged, but its core structure remained intact, leaving its combat power largely unaffected. The Sword Tao spirit, now transformed into a massive sword, acted as a shield and absorbed much of the impact. Lin Moyu and Little Python emerged unscathed. Shi Haifeng's group wasn't directly targeted but still suffered significant collateral damage. Their newly formed formation shattered instantly, scattering them in all directions. The previously injured members were now in critical condition. Thankfully, Shi Haifeng had shielded them from most of the explosion, otherwise, 2 of them might have died outright. Lin Moyu hadn't expected such reckless self-destruction from the Outsider Alliance's Great Tao Lord. It showed no regard for his companions. Under such circumstances, survival seemed impossible for any remaining members of the Outsider Alliance except for the one trapped within Lin Moyu's Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation. Shi Haifeng shouted from afar, Lin Daoyu. Be careful, they're still alive. Lin Moyu frowned and used his undead eye to scan the area. 4 soul flames burned brightly in the void, stronger than before. Apart from one killed by Shi Haifeng and another who self-destructed, 4 others had not only survived but grown more powerful. To Lin Moyu's surprise, these 4 began fleeing in different directions rather than continuing to fight. Recalling Shi Haifeng's warning, Lin Moyu instinctively felt that letting them escape could lead to trouble later. Shi Haifeng's group pursued one fleeing lord with their combined strength, they would likely succeed in eliminating him. However, 3 others remained, and if Lin Moyu wanted to prevent their escape, he would have to act himself. The 5-element giant activated its prison primordial formation once more, sending out countless threads that quickly ensnared one fleeing lord. The sword Dao spirit automatically flew out and pursued another. Meanwhile, the true fire spirit appeared beside Lin Moyu with a silvery laugh before vanishing into thin air. Suddenly, the previously cold vacuum zone grew unbearably hot even without visible flames. Great Daos ceased their dazzling displays as heat burned through them, invisibly transforming everything into rising vapors. Though separated by millions of miles from where the true fire spirit was active, Lin Moyu could see its devastating effects. Entire regions of Great Daos were incinerated into nothingness. This marked the true fire spirit's first attack and Lin Moyu's first glimpse of the terrifying power of the true fire Great Dao. Wherever it struck, nothing remained, not even traces of existence. Far off in the distance came anguished screams as flames briefly appeared before vanishing entirely. A Great Dao Lord had perished utterly, soul destroyed and true spirit reduced to ash, denied even reincarnation. Lin Moyu marveled at this unprecedented display. He had never encountered such power on the origin continent before. Moments later came another scream from elsewhere, this time caused by the sword Dao spirit's attack. Though this second lord lost his soul completely, his true spirit remained intact, allowing for potential reincarnation. Both liches returned shortly thereafter with expressions of excitement on their faces. Suddenly a massive rift appeared in space as coldly indifferent eyes gazed down upon them. 2 bolts of lightning shot forth from these eyes, striking both liches directly. The suddenness of this attack filled Lin Moyu's vision entirely with blinding light as cracks spread across space itself. His soul reverberated painfully before he was blasted apart, only to be reborn moments later amidst purple light. Yet even after rebirth the lightning persisted, destroying him again repeatedly until dissipating after 3 cycles. The 5-element giant suffered catastrophic damage. Its armor shattered entirely while half its body was obliterated, leaving it crippled. The prison primordial formation was torn apart. One trapped lord succumbed instantly under residual lightning strikes, while another remained barely contained within Lin Moyu's 1,000 paths and myriad images formation despite heavy damage sustained there too. After delivering its punishment, the mysterious eyes vanished as abruptly as they had appeared, as if they'd never existed at all. Lin Moyu felt lingering fear. Merely enduring residual lightning had caused him 3 deaths. Had he been struck directly, it would have been final despite his rebirth ability. Turning toward where lightning had struck directly, he saw both liches still standing but visibly weakened. Approaching cautiously, he asked, "Are you all right?" The sword Dao spirit replied, "I'm fine, but I can't help master fight for now." The true fire spirit added, "That lightning is so annoying it won't burn away." Though unharmed physically, their powers were sealed temporarily, a fortunate outcome given what could have happened. Observing carefully, Lin Moyu noticed traces of lingering lightning gradually fading. It would take time before fully dissipating. Until then the elemental liches couldn't act, but fortunately the sword Dao spirit could still transform into a weapon, ensuring no loss in combat capability for the 5-element giant. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3748, 3748. Chapter 3748, what are they? For Lin Moyu, the price paid this time was considerable. Fortunately, the cost was still within an acceptable range, and he had received a warning not to act too recklessly. Suddenly, Xiao Shang's voice came through. "Master, how should we deal with those guys?" The 2 primordial beasts, large and small, had also been severely injured by the residual lightning strikes. Their bodies were shattered, but their recovery abilities meant they would heal soon. Meanwhile, the Great Dao Lord from the Outsider Alliance, trapped in the 1,000 Paths and Myriad Images formation, was still enjoying the burning torment of the world-burning fire. Due to the formation's isolation, he remained oblivious to what had transpired outside, perhaps still waiting for his comrades to rescue him. Lin Moyu activated his will, and the sword Dao spirit transformed back into a massive sword, landing in the hand of the 5-element giant. Though its lower half had been destroyed and the prison primordial formation damaged beyond use for now, its right hand remained intact and capable of wielding the sword. The giant raised its sword high and slashed at the primordial beasts. Without invoking the sword Tao spirit's full power, it relied solely on the sharpness of the great Tao sword. Under dazzling sword light, both primordial beasts were completely destroyed on the spot, leaving behind 2 clusters of primordial beast essence. The 5-element giant then slowly entered the Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation to deal with the trapped great Tao Lord. Amidst agonized screams, it beat him to near death before delivering him to the center of the formation, where he was finally consumed by the world-burning fire, leaving behind a high-quality soul crystal. With the battle concluded, Lin Moyu began cleaning up. He released numerous divine runes from his soul to repair the Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation. Simultaneously, pre-stored formations from within Soul-Shaking Mountain emerged to assist in repairing the 5-element giant. However, this time, the damage to the giant was too extensive for stored formations alone to suffice. Lin Moyu would have to intervene personally for full restoration. While multitasking between repairs and reflection on the battle, Lin Moyu reviewed his biggest takeaway, witnessing firsthand the combat power of elemental liches. From their abilities, he could extrapolate insights into both true body great Tao Lords and world wills in their formation stage. Although elemental liches replicated true body great Taos and became akin to true body great Tao Lords in form, they were ultimately not genuine true body great Tao Lords, making them slightly weaker. Furthermore, liches faced numerous restrictions that prevented them from fully unleashing their power, widening this gap further. True body great Tao Lords likely possessed strength comparable to great domain emperors or world wills in their formation stage. However, even among world wills in this stage, there were variations in strength. For instance, the world will of the origin continent had survived countless ages and was undoubtedly among the strongest of its kind. It had defeated even a joint effort from Black Blood Realm and Heavenly God Realm's world wills. Thus, Lin Moyu recognized that elemental liches still fell short compared to such formidable entities. At that level of power, even minor differences translated into significant disparities in combat effectiveness. Lin Moyu understood this deeply and never underestimated the world will of the origin continent. Even if his plan succeeded in having great domain emperors suppress it within the soul void, weakening its strength, in reality it would remain a formidable opponent. Absolute preparation would be necessary for any confrontation and ideally strategies to weaken it further beforehand. After considerable effort, Lin Moyu finally restored the Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation. While recognizing its limitations, he lacked alternatives for creating a stronger formation at present, so it would have to suffice for now. The 5-element giant had partially self-repaired. Lin Moyu stepped in to complete its restoration while also replenishing stored formations within Soul-Shaking Mountain as contingency measures. From afar came soul flames signaling Shi Haifeng's group's return. Judging by Shi Haifeng's expression, they had successfully killed their targeted great Tao Lord. All 6 members bore injuries. Shi Haifeng's wounds were relatively minor compared to 2 others who appeared on death's doorstep. Lin Moyu suspected they might die at any moment. Shi Haifeng used his great Tao power alongside several treasures to protect these 2, but such methods were temporary fixes that couldn't last long. Lin Moyu wondered why they had returned instead of retreating immediately to their world. Perhaps seeking aid from their world's master might still offer solutions. Approaching Lin Moyu closely, Shi Haifeng said, "Lin Daoyu, I first apologize for my earlier actions." He glanced discreetly at the primordial beast essence. The 2 clusters were conspicuously radiant. Clearly aware that Lin Moyu had slain them and noting how badly damaged his 5-element giant was, it was evident that a fierce battle had taken place here earlier. Lin Moyu waved dismissively. "I understand your actions, though displeased I won't hold a grudge. At least you offered your allegiance." Shi Haifeng replied gratefully, "Thank you for your magnanimity. The Outsider Alliance's great Tao Lord we pursued has been eliminated. How did things fare on your end?" Lin Moyu understood why Shi Haifeng had returned. He feared Lin Moyu might have failed to kill his targets. "What happens if they escape?" Lin Moyu asked quietly while staring at Shi Haifeng. Shi Haifeng's expression shifted slightly. "If they escape, it could become very troublesome. One race within their alliance excels at tracing enemies through cause and effect. They would track us through surviving members, ultimately leading back to you." Lin Moyu detected subtle fear in Shi Haifeng's tone regarding this outsider alliance and asked pointedly, "I imagine they wouldn't stop at me, they'd come after you too." Shi Haifeng smiled bitterly. "That's inevitable, but our world isn't weak, we also have allies, so we're not overly concerned about them." However, being targeted by these lunatics creates endless trouble during expeditions. His implication was clear: the outsider alliance was dangerous, provoking them could render external ventures perilous or even impossible altogether. Lin Moyu asked directly, "What exactly is this outsider alliance?" Before Shi Haifeng could answer, a soft sound interrupted them as one member's soul began disintegrating rapidly despite his efforts using great Tao power to slow its collapse without stopping it entirely. Shi Haifeng looked visibly pained, as did his companions, all deeply affected by witnessing their comrades' imminent demise after years spent fighting side by side. Such losses were inevitable among cultivators walking paths defying natural order, but accepting them remained difficult nonetheless. Watching silently, Lin Moyu flipped his hand, summoning 2 blooming soul flowers into existence. "Place them inside," he instructed calmly, "perhaps there's still hope." Shi Haifeng hesitated briefly before seizing this lifeline, placing both souls into respective flowers which closed gently around them. Turning back toward Shi Haifeng, Lin Moyu said evenly, "Now let's continue discussing this outsider alliance. What exactly are they?" ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3749, 3749. Chapter 3749, a completely different world tree, Great Spirit Domain. Faced with Lin Moyu's request, Shi Haifeng had no choice but to comply. Humans are a major race, dominating many worlds and proliferating across them. These worlds were not originally owned by humans, they were conquered. Humans didn't destroy them but instead occupied them. Later, some internal conflicts arose within the human race, leading to a split. Some humans no longer acknowledge themselves as part of the human race. Through secret Great Tao techniques or intermarriage with other races, they eventually gave rise to a group of species that closely resembled humans in appearance. These are the outsiders. Over time, the outsiders grew in number and strength, forming an alliance across multiple worlds, the Outsider Alliance. The Outsider Alliance spans hundreds of worlds. While it's still not as vast as the human race, it has become strong enough to rival humanity. Lin Moyu sensed there was more to this story. The human race is highly hierarchical. What kind of event could cause such a significant split? Shi Haifeng replied, "The event occurred so long ago that only a few ancient beings might know the truth. However, I've heard it might be related to a place called the Wild." The Wild. Lin Moyu's heart trembled. How was this connected to the Wild again? The solar ancestral dragon had once fled to a place called the Wild to escape the Lord of Hell, returning with a strange curse. Because of this curse, the dragon race had abandoned their ancestral land except for those dragons who remained on the origin continent and severed ties with their ancestral home. Previously, Lin Moyu had worried that the curse from the Wild might spread from the dragon race's ancestral land to affect the origin continent. But now, there was no need for concern. With the world will awakened, it would never allow such a curse to exist. This was something Lin Moyu didn't need to worry about anymore. Lin Moyu asked, "What happened after we parted ways last time?" Shi Haifeng explained, "After parting ways with you, we intended to return home but encountered 2 great Tao primordial beasts along the way. We managed to deal with them since one was still immature, a juvenile and not very powerful. But unexpectedly, these 2 primordial beasts were bait set by the Outsider Alliance. While we were fighting them, Great Tao lords from the Outsider Alliance ambushed us and severely injured our group. What happened next is something you already know. For your help back then, Lin Daoyu, we owe you a great debt of gratitude." Lin Moyu said, "No need to wait for the future to repay me, you can do so now. And you're not just repaying me for saving you, you also owe me for saving these 2. He gestured toward the 2 soul flowers holding Shi Haifeng's companions' souls. "These flowers are incredibly valuable, perhaps even more so than primordial beast essence." Shi Haifeng quickly responded, "I understand completely. Lin Daoyu, if you have any requests, please let me know." He knew very well that if these flowers could save his dying companions, their value would be immeasurable, far beyond ordinary treasures. They represented the lives of great Tao lords. Lin Moyu said, "First, I'm heading to the World Tree Great Spirit Domain. I'd like directions, and if you have a map or similar resource, that would be even better." Shi Haifeng immediately replied, "That's no problem at all. In fact, our world is located within the World Tree Great Spirit Domain. I can guide you there myself." Lin Moyu raised an eyebrow in surprise. What a coincidence. Out of 9 Great Spirit Domains, Shi Haifeng's world happened to be in the one he was heading toward. Shi Haifeng smiled. Indeed, truth is often stranger than fiction. While there's no such thing as a map for great spirit domains, I do have information on the distribution of small spirit domains within ours. He produced an object resembling a compass, a palm-sized device shrouded in mist. This is the World Tree Spirit Domain Compass, Shi Haifeng explained. It marks the locations of 999 small spirit domains within the World Tree Great Spirit Domain. Lin Dao, you should know that both great and small spirit domains are constantly moving. This compass updates their positions in real time. Shi Haifeng handed over the compass to Lin Moyu, who activated it with his soul power and immediately saw detailed markings of all small spirit domain locations inside. Curious, Lin Moyu asked, do all great spirit domains have such compasses? Shi Haifeng shook his head. No, only the World Tree Great Spirit Domain has them because it's unique. The World Tree's roots spread throughout the entire domain. The World Tree Emperor refined this compass using parts of the tree itself. What we possess are merely replicas with limited functionality, but they work well enough as maps. Since it was just a replica, Lin Moyu accepted it without hesitation. Lin Moyu continued. Second, I'm also looking for rare Great Dao materials within this domain and am willing to trade appropriately. Shi Haifeng's eyes lit up. What kind of materials are you looking for? Lin Moyu replied. Nothing below second tier and preferably rare attributes, the more, the better. From his previous trade with Golden Lion Dao Lord, Lin Moyu had learned that while Great Dao materials weren't restricted by cultivation level or realm tier, higher tier materials were always better. His world already contained most common Great Daos. Using duplicate materials could enhance existing Daos and accelerate their evolution. However, rare materials were ideal for filling gaps in his world's Great Daos. Primordial Beast Essence was another valuable resource. It could likely benefit his world too. However, according to Shi Haifeng, Primordial Beast Essence required a world will to utilize effectively, and Lin Moyu's world will was still in its embryonic stage. Shi Haifeng and his companions offered some materials they carried with them. Lin Moyu inspected them using his soul power and selected several second-tier materials that matched his needs. These included materials aligned with existing Daos in his world, useful for further strengthening them. Shi Haifeng added, if you're looking for more materials, head to Spring Encounter Small Spirit Domain within our Great Spirit Domain. It has a trading market where you might find what you need. Lin Moyu paused in surprise. A trading market? In this domain? He realized then that his assumptions about the World Tree Great Spirit Domain were completely wrong. It was nothing like Golden Furnace Great Spirit Domain. Golden Furnace lacked any semblance of order, let alone trading markets, with its emperor showing no interest in governance. In contrast, the existence of trading markets suggested that order prevailed within the World Tree Domain. Shi Haifeng remarked knowingly, I take it your previous experience was with chaotic domains. Lin Moyu nodded. Indeed. Shi Haifeng explained further. The World Tree Domain is different thanks largely to its emperor and the human sovereign. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3750, 3750. Chapter 3750, Eternity doesn't necessarily require sacrifice. While Lin Moyu repaired the 5-element giant and the soul flowers healed 2 great Dao lords, Shi Haifeng shared his knowledge about the World Tree Great Spirit Domain. From Shi Haifeng's account, Lin Moyu learned much about this unique domain. It is indeed different from other great spirit domains, primarily due to the human sovereign and the World Tree Emperor. The human sovereign is a powerful true-body Great Dao Lord who cultivates the destruction Great Dao, making him unparalleled in combat, a force of destruction incarnate. Moreover, the human sovereign is also the master of a world that has reached eternity, where its world will remains entirely subservient to his commands. The human sovereign has 2 disciples, both true-body Great Dao Lords themselves. In the World Tree Great Spirit Domain, the human sovereign stands as its strongest figure and is revered as the Emperor of Humanity, a title bestowed upon him by countless human powerhouses. Before attaining his Dao, the human sovereign was already close friends with the World Tree Emperor, forging a bond that significantly influenced the domain's development. As Shi Haifeng continued, Lin Moyu suddenly realized, the human sovereign's world, has it truly reached eternity? Shi Haifeng confirmed, yes, it has. Achieving eternity for a world will is incredibly difficult, only a handful have ever succeeded. Lin Moyu asked, when a world will reaches eternity, doesn't it typically require sacrificing all living beings within that world? Shi Haifeng replied, Sacrifice isn't always necessary. It's said that the human sovereign discovered a method to achieve eternity without sacrificing his world's inhabitants. At least in his world, no such sacrifices occurred. Legend has it that the human sovereign forged an unprecedented path. The worlds under humanity's influence are all following in his footsteps. These words painted a vivid image of the human sovereign as an extraordinary figure, one who not only achieved greatness but also paved the way for countless others. The destruction great Tao. Lin Moyu searched his memories and recalled seeing a great Tao filled with destruction and ruin during his time in the returning origin land. The human sovereign must have entered the returning origin land, reaching the pinnacle of existence. Across all worlds and realms, only about 20 individuals have reached such heights, the human sovereign being one of them. The destruction great Tao excels in combat, it's no wonder his strength is considered supreme. And he didn't stop there, he forged a path for humanity to follow, a monumental achievement worthy of universal respect. If he's so powerful, why hasn't news of him spread to other great spirit domains? And why haven't other domains tried to emulate his methods? Humanity exists beyond just the World Tree Great Spirit domain. Lin Moyu pondered deeply over these questions. Perhaps they could only be answered by asking the human sovereign himself. Even the discernment beast might not know. Given the human sovereign's strength, even the discernment beast might struggle to overhear his words. Meanwhile, as the soul flowers slowly dissipated, two great Tao lords reappeared in the void. Their injuries were severe. While they hadn't fully recovered after treatment by the soul flowers, their conditions had stabilized, ensuring their survival. This was already a significant improvement. With time and rest back in their world, they could recover completely within centuries. Both expressed their gratitude to Lin Moyu, who accepted it graciously. As Lin Moyu's cultivation deepened, so did his understanding of cause and effect Tao. Sometimes cause and effect ties must be severed, other times they must be maintained. It was no longer viable to indiscriminately cut all ties. If all ties were severed completely, he would become isolated, a lone cultivator walking an emotionless path. Now Lin Moyu categorized cause and effect into two types: negative causes and positive causes. Negative causes should be severed as much as possible, killing enemies and cutting ties cleanly when necessary. Positive causes should be cultivated, building goodwill and earning others' gratitude, as exemplified by this situation. Different cultivation levels bring varying perspectives on similar matters. After conversing further with Shi Haifeng and completing repairs on both the 5-element giant and replenishing formations in Soul-Shaking Mountain, Lin Moyu received praise for his mastery of formations from Shi Haifeng. Whether sincere or not, he accepted it calmly. The primordial beast essence naturally belonged to Lin Moyu. Even if he offered it to Shi Haifeng now, Shi Haifeng wouldn't dare accept it. In truth, Shi Haifeng's group contributed little during this battle. It was primarily led by Lin Moyu. Despite 3 fleeing great Tao lords being slain and 2 primordial beasts killed along with them, it was clear Lin Moyu had hidden capabilities far beyond what anyone expected. To Shi Haifeng's group, Lin Moyu's second-tier soul level seemed almost mythical, not someone who could be assessed by conventional standards of power. After identifying their direction toward the World Tree Great Spirit domain, Shi Haifeng led Lin Moyu onward, saving him from wandering aimlessly like a headless fly. Along their journey, Lin Moyu discussed humanity and matters within the domain with Shi Haifeng, while his companions remained mostly silent, leaving Shi Haifeng as their sole spokesperson. According to Shi Haifeng, their world housed around 200 great Tao lords, but most were branch level while few were origin level lords. From this information, Lin Moyu gleaned that origin level lords significantly influenced world will's strength. Primordial beast essence serves one purpose: to enhance world wills. Only sufficiently strong wills can foster enough origin level lords within their worlds. With enough origin level lords, their presence further strengthens world wills, a mutually reinforcing cycle between them. This explained why the origin continent's world will repeatedly nurtures new worlds to cultivate new lords for its growth. Yet simultaneously it must guard against betrayal from those very lords and living beings it fosters. Reflecting on conversations with discernment beast, Lin Moyu noted that cultivators and world wills often couldn't coexist peacefully, but within domains like World Tree they seemed able to coexist harmoniously. Even these world wills possessed intelligence, and according to discernment beast they too harbored malice. However, their malice was suppressed by their masters, turning them into tools for service. Lin Moyu considered implications for his own world, which also harbors an embryonic world will. Should it evolve further, it might enter formation stage and potentially become malevolent. At that point it would require control or suppression. One lingering question puzzled him: where did benevolent wills go? How did they transform into malevolent ones? Discernment Beast hadn't provided answers, it seemed unwilling or unable to explain, leaving Lin Moyu to uncover truths himself. Another critical goal remained, to learn how eternity could be achieved without sacrificing inhabitants within worlds. His own world would inevitably reach eternity someday, but its inhabitants must not be sacrificed. This was an obstacle he needed to overcome. Previously it seemed insurmountable, but now with knowledge of human sovereigns' methods a pathway emerged. Lin Moyu felt strongly that this journey into World Tree Great Spirit Domain might yield substantial insights. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3751, 3751. Chapter 3751, Better Safe Than Sorry. After several days of travel, a vast spirit domain appeared on the horizon. Even from a distance, the stark differences between the World Tree Great Spirit Domain and the Golden Furnace Great Spirit Domain were evident. The World Tree Great Spirit Domain was surrounded by a faint glow. Shi Haifeng had explained earlier that this glow was actually a massive formation jointly created by the human sovereign and the World Tree Emperor. Its sole purpose? To emit light. The essence of this light was great Tao power, invisible to virtual beasts but visible to cultivators. Its function was to guide cultivators from the World Tree Great Spirit Domain back home. Shi Haifeng chuckled. To most people, this formation seems entirely unnecessary. Lin Moyu disagreed. I don't think so. Shi Haifeng raised an eyebrow. Oh. What's your perspective, Lin Daoyu? Lin Moyu explained. This formation may seem pointless, but it's actually sending a clear message. The World Tree Great Spirit Domain is orderly and governed. Outsiders entering must follow its rules and refrain from causing trouble. The fact that the human sovereign and the World Tree Emperor have the ability to create such a formation shows they also have the power to control everything within this domain. If I'm not mistaken, the outsider alliance we encountered earlier doesn't operate within the World Tree Great Spirit Domain. Shi Haifeng's eyes lit up. Lin Daoyu's observation aligns perfectly with what my master has said. When the outsider alliance first emerged, they did have a presence here. At that time, humanity tolerated them, and even the human sovereign didn't act against them. But as conflicts arose between them and humanity, they were eventually expelled from this domain by the human sovereign. Lin Moyu asked curiously. They were merely expelled? Shi Haifeng replied. According to my master, the human sovereign believed that for humanity to continue growing and thriving, it needed adversaries. Absolute dominance without competition leads to stagnation. Lin Moyu could fully understand the human sovereign's reasoning. Without enemies, humanity within a great world would lose its drive over time. The human sovereign likely created external pressure to push humanity forward. The human sovereign, Lin Moyu murmured, filled with curiosity about such an extraordinary figure. He longed to meet him someday. Shi Haifeng continued. Although humanity dominates the World Tree Great Spirit Domain, it hasn't disrupted its virtual beast ecosystem. In this regard, it's similar to other spirit domains. Our great Tao lords no longer hunt virtual beasts, nor do small spirit domain kings deliberately target cultivators. As long as Lin Daoyu avoids provoking small spirit domain kings here, there shouldn't be any danger. Having seen Lin Moyu's collection of primordial virtual treasures earlier, Shi Haifeng could easily guess their origin without needing to ask. His words were essentially a reminder for Lin Moyu not to provoke small spirit domain kings in this domain. Lin Moyu understood his point. The World Tree Great Spirit Domain was unique, its small spirit domain kings were likely subordinates of the World Tree Emperor. Killing one might invite trouble from the Emperor himself. Lin Moyu nodded. Understood. Shi Haifeng then asked. We'll be returning to our world soon. Where does Lin Daoyu plan to go? He didn't invite Lin Moyu to his world, knowing it might be awkward if Lin Moyu declined. Lin Moyu smiled. I have my own matters to attend to, I won't intrude. Shi Haifeng's world had both a world master and a world will. Entering it would mean surrendering control over his own fate. While he had enjoyed conversing with Shi Haifeng, their relationship hadn't reached a level of complete trust. Naturally, he wouldn't willingly place himself in danger. Moreover, he couldn't reveal his destination even if Shi Haifeng had no ill intentions, others might. After all, he still possessed 2 clusters of primordial beast essence, highly valuable items that could easily tempt any world master. Caution was essential. Shortly after entering the World Tree Great Spirit Domain, Lin Moyu parted ways with Shi Haifeng's group. He glanced at his spirit domain compass for directions before storing it in his spatial storage space. Little Python transformed into a streak of light and headed toward Green Branch small spirit domain. Lin Moyu stored the compass out of concern that Shi Haifeng's master might use it to track his location. From their conversations, Lin Moyu had gauged Shi Haifeng's character but knew little about his companions or their master. Given how much Shi Haifeng's master coveted primordial beast essence and understanding how closely tied a world master's strength is to their world, it wasn't far-fetched to think he might attempt to seize it. By storing the compass in his spatial space, Lin Moyu severed any potential tracking connections, ensuring greater safety for himself. In the vastness of the soul void, finding him would be no easy task, especially since he hadn't disclosed his destination. Green Branch small spirit domain, where the Lord of Hell resided, was located at the edge of the World Tree Great Spirit Domain. It was far from South Leaf small spirit domain, where Shi Haifeng's world lay, nearly spanning half of the entire domain. Even with Little Python's speed and smooth travel conditions, reaching it would take at least half a month and possibly longer if delays occurred. Meanwhile, in South Leaf small spirit domain stood a massive world protected by an intricate formation woven by its world will, which had already taken form. As Shi Haifeng's group returned home and entered their world, a humanoid figure appeared automatically. The six bowed in unison. "Greetings, Master." Their master, the ruler of this world, stood surrounded by three great Daos, one representing Yang above, another Yin below, and between them swirled killing intent, indicating his cultivation of the Slaughter Great Dao. This world was called Wood Slaughter Realm, and its ruler bore the title Wood Slaughter Realm Master. His voice was cold as he said, "You've worked hard." Shi Haifeng replied, "We did not fail. We've returned after 360 years with 2 clusters of primordial beast essence." He presented them, and a flicker of joy crossed Wood Slaughter Realm Master's eyes as he said, "Well done. I see you're all injured. Did you encounter members of the Outsider Alliance?" Shi Haifeng nodded grimly. "Yes, we faced unexpected challenges and barely made it back." A flash of killing intent crossed Wood Slaughter Realm Master's face as he demanded details. Shi Haifeng recounted everything, including how they obtained primordial beast essence, their encounter with Outsider Alliance members, and their meeting with Lin Moyu. After hearing this, the Realm Master's voice grew colder still. "The Outsider Alliance grows increasingly audacious." Shi Haifeng added, "Over recent years we've met several Dao Lords from other worlds, all mentioning encounters with Outsider Alliance members. They're becoming more rampant." Wood Slaughter Realm Master responded icily, "I'll handle matters concerning them. You all should rest and recover. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3752, 3752. Chapter 3752, Hope he stays honest. After Shi Haifeng and his companions departed, the Wood Slaughter Realm Master disappeared into the void with the primordial beast essence. Moments later, he arrived at the world's origin core and placed the essence within it. The world's origin core absorbed the primordial beast essence and emitted a satisfied hum. At this moment, a figure in green robes appeared beside the Realm Master. This green-robed figure was none other than the World Will of Wood Slaughter Realm, affectionately referred to as Little Wood. It approached the Realm Master like a loyal pet, rubbing against him affectionately. The Realm Master asked, "Little Wood, what do you think of that outsider named Lin Moyu?" As the World Will, Little Wood was aware of everything happening within its domain. Moreover, its intelligence hadn't been erased. It could think and interact like any other sentient being. Little Wood's eyes glowed red with intense killing intent as it replied, "That outsider named Lin Moyu possesses 2 clusters of primordial beast essence." Its meaning was simple: it wanted Lin Moyu's primordial beast essence. For a world will, nothing was more valuable than primordial beast essence. The Realm Master remarked, "Shi Haifeng did well by handing over the spirit domain compass to him. Little Wood, sense where the compass is now. I'll go have a chat with him. After all, he's human and saved Shi Haifeng's group. If I can avoid conflict, that would be ideal. Furthermore, he has flowers capable of healing soul injuries. I'm quite interested in those as well. I seem to recall hearing about such items in some legends. A flower that could bring great Dao Lords back from near death was invaluable. It's worth beyond estimation." The Realm Master believed Lin Moyu likely had more of them. Little Wood closed its eyes briefly before reopening them seconds later. "I can't sense it anymore." The Realm Master was taken aback. "You can't sense it?" Little Wood nodded. "No, I can't detect its location. It's unclear where he went." The Realm Master realized things might not be so simple. It seems he has some unknown method to sever the connection with the spirit domain compass. No matter, I suspect he'll head to Spring Encounter Small Spirit Domains Trading Market. I'll find him there. Since he's searching for rare materials, I'll prepare some and see if we can make an equitable trade. Meanwhile, Little Wood, stay here and continue refining and absorbing the primordial beast essence. I'll head out first. Though cultivated in the Slaughter Great Tao, the Realm Master didn't exude heavy killing intent in normal circumstances. His demeanor remained calm and composed. Little Wood respectfully replied, "May everything go smoothly for you, Master." The Realm Master muttered softly, "Let's hope he stays honest," before vanishing from his world. Meanwhile, Little Python traversed most of the World Tree Great Spirit Domain, encountering occasional virtual beasts along the way that Lin Moyu dispatched without hesitation. As long as small spirit domain kings weren't involved, neither the Emperor nor these kings would intervene, the implicit rule being, "Don't provoke me, and I won't retaliate." While crossing a vacuum zone between small spirit domains, Lin Moyu came across a beast abyss. Though not particularly large, Lin Moyu attempted to explore it further but found results similar to previous encounters, merely reinforcing his earlier conclusions without yielding significant discoveries. In terms of beast abysses, both World Tree and Golden Furnace Great Spirit Domains shared similarities, indicating that certain phenomena remained immutable even for figures like emperors or sovereigns. Throughout his journey, Lin Moyu refrained from using the spirit domain compass, remaining cautious about Shi Haifeng's group. After more than a month of travel, Lin Moyu felt he was nearing his destination. He then crafted a Seeking World Talisman. The talisman aligned itself with Great Tao forces and flew off in a specific direction. Little Python asked curiously, "Master, what if the world you find isn't the one you're looking for?" Lin Moyu replied, "I know, but it's better not to use the compass unless absolutely necessary. I have a feeling it's not entirely safe. No rush. If we can't find it this way, we can always ask a small spirit domain king." Little Python nodded. It seemed like a reasonable plan. While virtual beasts might not know their domain's name or details, small spirit domain kings certainly would. After 2 days of following the Seeking World Talisman, a peculiar world finally came into view. Lin Moyu stopped at a distance. The shape of this world was unusual, not round or square but curled like an infant in fetal position. Its appearance resembled treating the soul void as its mother, a clear sign of embryonic development. Embryonic spirit, Lin Moyu murmured softly, realizing this world was undergoing spirit formation. Scanning with his undead eye, he noticed several clusters of soul flames outside this world, guarding it vigilantly. These soul flames belonged to great Tao lords, with one flame standing out as particularly strong. It likely belonged to this world's master. Under guidance from human sovereign, the World Tree Great Spirit Domain had passed down secret techniques enabling many worlds to have masters actively assisting their world's spirit formation and growth. As guardians, they naturally disliked outsiders approaching. Standing at a distance, Lin Moyu called out loudly, "Greetings. May I ask, is this Green Branch Small Spirit Domain?" After a brief pause, a deep voice responded, "Yes. Thank you." Having confirmed its identity, Lin Moyu turned away without lingering further. He could sense that due to ongoing spirit formation, the guardians weren't welcoming toward visitors, and confirming Green Branch Small Spirit Domain's identity was sufficient for now. Little Python asked curiously, "Master, how are you certain that world isn't what you're looking for?" Lin Moyu replied calmly, "I'll recognize my target when I see it. As long as this is Green Branch Small Spirit Domain, that's enough." With confirmation secured, the next steps became straightforward. Small spirit domains varied in size, some containing only 1 or 2 worlds while others housed over 10, but given enough time the desired world could be located eventually. Lin Moyu dispatched numerous skeleton generals in all directions while crafting additional Seeking World Talismans to search other areas simultaneously. 10 days later, his efforts bore fruit. At Green Branch Small Spirit Domain's edge, a peculiar world shrouded in mist caught his attention. Its aura felt familiar, resembling skeleton hell, and upon closer inspection it became clear this was indeed Hellmaster's domain. This formation stage world took on floral form, a blooming flower. Lin Moyu recognized instantly the red spider lily. Approaching cautiously, the world sensed Lin Moyu's arrival. Its red spider lily began blooming fully while an ominous voice warned, "This domain does not welcome outsiders, leave immediately." The voice carried hoarse yet heavy tones filled with menace, as if refusal would provoke immediate retaliation. Lin Moyu stopped short but replied firmly, "From Origin Continent, I am Lin Moyu, a human here to visit Hellmaster." Upon hearing this, the red spider lily emitted dazzling light, transforming soul void into an ocean of blue. Lin Moyu felt his body grow heavier under oppressive blue light, weakening his strength. Even little Python shrieked in fear, trembling uncontrollably. Stay calm, Lin Moyu commanded sharply, steadying little Python amidst overwhelming pressure. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3753, 3753. Chapter 3753, The Other Shore Realm Master. The oppressive aura was vast and overwhelming, like an ocean, causing little Python to tremble uncontrollably despite its best efforts to steady itself. Lin Moyu could only sigh helplessly at the sight. Within the blue light, a figure gradually emerged, a mere projection, yet radiating an indescribable majesty. This figure was identical to the image of the Hell Master that Lin Moyu had seen before. Lin Moyu bowed respectfully. Junior greets the Hell Master. The figure waved dismissively. The Hell Master is no more. I am now known as the Other Shore Realm Master. The name, Other Shore Realm Master, carried an air of killing intent. The red spider lily, a sinister flower of hell, had become both his form and name, signifying that he had not forgotten his past nor forgiven old grudges. Lin Moyu replied, though the Hell Master has passed, his legend remains. The Other Shore Realm Master asked in a low voice, how did you find me? Lin Moyu answered, only Discernment Beast could have guided me to you. The Other Shore Realm Master already knew this answer. His arrival here and his conquest of this world had been facilitated by Discernment Beast. Moreover, he had moved and changed locations multiple times. If anyone claimed they could find him, it would undoubtedly be through Discernment Beast's guidance. The Other Shore Realm Master asked, why have you come to seek me? Lin Moyu explained, after the Great Origin Catastrophe, the world will fell into slumber. After countless years of rest, it has begun to awaken again. I have learned of its existence and refused to be enslaved, thus I must walk the same path as you once did. The Other Shore Realm Master sneered, this path is difficult to tread. Lin Moyu responded firmly, though difficult, it must be walked. As cultivators, we defy heaven itself, and on the Origin continent, the world will is heaven itself. Naturally, it must be opposed. The Other Shore Realm Master retorted, if you wish to rebel, then rebel, why involve me? His tone implied that he had severed ties with his past and did not wish to interfere further. Lin Moyu continued, when you first discovered it, it was at full strength. Naturally you were no match for it. But after the Great Origin Catastrophe and its battle with Black Blood and Heavenly God Realm's world wills, it suffered injuries and has yet to recover fully. This presents an opportunity for revenge. The Other Shore Realm Master scoffed, opportunity? Even injured, there is no chance for you. It is far stronger than you can imagine. You wouldn't even see its true form. Its subordinates alone could kill you 1,000 times over. Clearly, the battle from long ago had left deep scars on him. Despite his strength back then, he had been easily defeated by the world will, making Lin Moyu's ambition seem laughable in comparison. Lin Moyu countered, though my cultivation level is low, my combat strength is not weak. If my plan succeeds, there will indeed be a chance far greater than what you had back then. Back then, you acted without preparation, now I act with careful planning. The Other Shore Realm Master's gaze remained mocking as he asked, who fed you this nonsense? Lin Moyu replied softly, I discussed this with Discernment Beast, it believes I have a chance. At this mention of Discernment Beast, the Other Shore Realm Master's expression shifted slightly. Its significance was clearly not lost on him. He began taking Lin Moyu more seriously. Explain your plan, let me judge whether it's feasible or foolish. Lin Moyu outlined his plan briefly but clearly. Due to Discernment Beast's involvement, the Other Shore Realm Master listened intently. He muttered to himself, if Great Domain Emperors act within the Soul Void to suppress the world will, its power in reality would decrease by 30%. Factoring in its injuries and incomplete recovery, it would retain only 50% of its peak strength. Do you understand what 50% means? In the World Tree Great Spirit Domain alone, most world wills wouldn't be able to rival it. Had it not been for Black Blood and Heavenly God Realm's interference back then, it might have already taken its final step toward eternity. And don't forget its subordinates, over 100 great Tao Lords among them, and some are as strong as I once was. How do you plan to handle them? A good plan is meaningless if it cannot be executed, it becomes nothing more than an illusion. Lin Moyu explained further. That's why I've allied with like-minded individuals. We're searching for worlds and helping them become world masters. By harnessing their world powers we can deal with its subordinates. The other shore realm master sneered. Nonsense. Do you realize how long it takes for a world will to undergo spirit formation and transformation? By then it would have recovered fully, even taken its final step toward eternity. You'd all be dead. Lin Moyu replied confidently. Before coming to the World Tree Great Spirit Domain this plan seemed nearly impossible with less than 10% success probability. But now I'm 50% certain because of this. He revealed a cluster of primordial beast essence. The other shore realm master's eyes lit up instantly. As a world master whose realm was entering spirit formation, the primordial beast essence was immensely beneficial. Lin Moyu elaborated. With enough primordial beast essence we can drastically shorten spirit formation time. Even if we don't reach full transformation we can at least achieve partial transformation. With several partially transformed world wills we can counter its subordinates effectively. As Lin Moyu spoke the success probability of his plan increased dramatically. Previously the greatest obstacle was time, but primordial beast essence could provide enough time for success. Thus the details of his plan evolved significantly. Initially he sought out the Hell Master hoping for direct assistance, but now the Hell Master's role had shifted. The other shore realm master stared at the primordial beast essence, clearly moved by Lin Moyu's proposal. After all, a chance for revenge against old grudges would not be ignored. It was both cause and effect in personal vengeance befitting a ruthless world master. After a moment the other shore realm master said softly, "You're correct. With several partially transformed world wills acting together they could indeed counter his subordinates, but there remains one critical issue unsolved." Lin Moyu replied knowingly, "You mean true spirits?" The other shore realm master confirmed, "Exactly. You're from the origin continent. All your true spirits are under his control. You cannot escape his grasp. If you wish to rebel, the first step is freeing your true spirits. Have you considered how to accomplish this?" This was undoubtedly the most challenging aspect of Lin Moyu's plan. For those born on the origin continent, their true spirits were inherently tied to its world will. Without freeing their true spirits all subsequent steps were futile. Even allies like the third ancestor couldn't become world masters. Any movement would immediately alert the origin continent's world will, leading to failure. Lin Moyu responded resolutely, "Discernment Beast has discussed this with me. That's why I came seeking your help. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3754, 3754. Chapter 3754, The Story of the Hell Master. The other shore realm master chuckled softly. It was the first time he had laughed during their conversation. "So, you've set your sights on my gate of hell?" Lin Moyu replied. "Senior, you once opened the gate of hell and obtained several treasures from it. One of those treasures allowed you to create a clone, feign death, and escape the world will's grasp. I hope to borrow that treasure to help others feign death and escape as well." The other shore realm master shook his head. "That treasure is indeed extraordinary. It was what allowed me to escape. But it was a one-time use item and cannot be borrowed." Lin Moyu was surprised. A one-time use treasure? The other shore realm master confirmed. Yes, it was one-time use. However, there are still many treasures within the gate of hell. The problem is that opening the gate is no easy task. Lin Moyu asked, "How can the gate of hell be opened?" The other shore realm master explained. "When I obtained the gate, I disguised it as the gate of hell and used the power of the Hell Great Tao to accumulate energy. It took millions of years to barely open it once. And even then, I only managed to create a small crack. Now you understand how difficult it is." Difficult was an understatement. Even with the power of an origin Great Tao, it had taken millions of years to open a mere crack. It was no wonder the gate of hell had only been opened once since its discovery. It was simply too challenging. Lin Moyu asked, "After all these years, has enough power been accumulated in the gate?" The other shore realm master shook his head. "I've spent all this time recovering from my injuries. There's been no opportunity to accumulate energy for the gate. Moreover, my Great Tao was damaged during my deception to escape him. It took immense effort just to recover. Opening the gate again is an impossibility for now." Lin Moyu frowned slightly. This was more troublesome than he had anticipated. The path against heaven was fraught with obstacles. Just when hope seemed within reach, it slipped away again. Not only was the treasure for freeing true spirits a one-time use item, but even opening the gate again seemed out of reach. Even if they started accumulating energy now, it would take millions of years, a timeline Lin Moyu could not afford. He asked, "Is there no other way?" The other Shore Realm Master replied, "There is another way. Back then, I captured the Yin ancestral dragon and refined it into a netherworld black dragon, stealing its lunar origin power. I discovered that lunar origin power could significantly accelerate the opening of the gate tens of thousands of times faster than using my Hell Great Tao power. Naturally, I thought of the Yang ancestral dragon as well. The sun and moon are two halves of a whole. If lunar origin power works, then solar origin power will too. Combining both might even be faster. My ultimate goal was to merge solar and lunar powers into a yin-yang great Tao and use it to become a world master. But in pursuing this path, I unexpectedly discovered the existence of the world will." The former Hell Master, the current other Shore Realm Master, began recounting his past experiences. Lin Moyu asked, "What happened when you discovered the world will? How did it react?" The other Shore Realm Master smiled bitterly. "Naturally, it noticed me as well. Otherwise, the Yang ancestral dragon wouldn't have fled far away, nor would my plans have failed. It gave me a warning telling me not to continue. At that time, it was preparing to ascend into eternity and needed us alive, so it refrained from killing me outright. But how could I trust its promise not to sacrifice me? Would you believe such words?" Lin Moyu shook his head. Such promises were impossible to trust. As a cultivator walking against heaven's will, how could one willingly submit? The other Shore Realm Master continued. "Desperate for survival, I exhausted every method until I found Discernment Beast, and through its guidance, I found a way out via this gate. I emerged from this gate at great cost, bringing back 3 treasures, one being the Immortality Jewel, another being the Heaven Concealing Stone. Using these 2 together allowed me to create clones and feign death. With these treasures, I sacrificed my cultivation level to erase my true spirit imprint from the origin continent, finally regaining freedom. However," he added with a bitter smile, "I've never dared seek revenge against him. The grudge remains, but avenging it seems impossible." His tone revealed deep resentment but also resignation. The opportunity for revenge was almost non-existent. Lin Moyu asked, "What about the 3rd treasure?" The other Shore Realm Master answered, "The 3rd treasure was a material known as Primordial Origin Treasure Material. I exchanged it with Discernment Beast for another chance at life. At that time I had lost much of my cultivation and could barely protect myself. Recovery seemed like an impossible dream. Discernment Beast brought me to this world and used secret methods to help me seize its world while becoming its master. Discernment Beast also promised that no one would disturb me for 10 million years." Lin Moyu hadn't expected Discernment Beast to have done so much. He had assumed Discernment Beast merely answered questions, but clearly its capabilities extended far beyond that. However, a new question arose in Lin Moyu's mind: isn't Discernment Beast a virtual beast? How did it take you away? The other Shore Realm Master chuckled. "You underestimate Discernment Beast. It's far more capable than you think. Its abilities extend beyond just operating in the soul void. It can turn virtual into real and connect both realms seamlessly. It can even align locations between both realms perfectly. In just half a day it brought me from the origin continent to the World Tree Great Spirit Domain. I still remember that world was primitive at best, its beings numerous but not yet capable of cultivation. Discernment Beast said this world suited me perfectly." The former Hell Master had exchanged near-death experiences for survival, a testament to his resilience. His words were filled with admiration for Discernment Beast, a being whose abilities left an indelible impression on him. Lin Moyu realized he had completely underestimated Discernment Beast's power. Its ability to bridge virtual and real worlds alone was astonishing, a feat even human sovereign might not achieve. After being saved, the Hell Master spent millions of years in slumber before awakening, fully integrated with his world. Upon awakening he found himself equipped with secret techniques allowing him control over his world will, not as its replacement but as its coexistent partner. He began nurturing both himself and his world will, knowing that if cultivated properly the latter would become his greatest ally. As time passed, the world evolved, its great Taos were completed, and millions more years went by until its world will reached spirit formation stage while his cultivation returned to peak levels. Hearing this tale, Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh deeply. Survival truly is difficult. The other Shore Realm Master replied, "Of course it's difficult, but at least I survived. Do you still think you have any chance against him?" Lin Moyu responded resolutely, "Regardless of whether there's a chance, I must try." The other Shore Realm Master's gaze sharpened, his oppressive aura intensified further. "Then what do you want from me?" ko-fi.com/translate Toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3755, 3755. Chapter 3755, Negotiations break down. The current Other Shore Realm Master, though stronger than before, no longer possessed the sharpness of his past self. The once dominant figure who had refined the Yin ancestral dragon and was hailed as the strongest great Tao Lord on the origin continent had fallen. Now, while he still harbored hatred for the past, he buried it deeply, unwilling to expose it easily. Even when Lin Moyu probed deeply, the hatred only faintly surfaced. Lin Moyu sighed inwardly. He understood that the Hell Master of old was gone. The current Other Shore Realm Master would no longer risk his life to challenge the world will of the origin continent. This grudge would remain unavenged. Living safely in the World Tree Great Spirit domain, with his strength steadily growing over time, there was no reason for him to take such a risk. Of course, if Lin Moyu were willing to fight on his behalf, he would gladly assist, perhaps even provide some help. Lin Moyu asked, I recall you once wielded a scepter adorned with 5 gemstones. He remembered seeing the Hell Master's catastrophic scepter back then, but now realized it seemed different from what he had seen before. The Other Shore Realm Master chuckled. That was a replica I crafted myself. I once saw the original scepter behind the Gate of Hell and forged one based on its design. A counterfeit. No wonder the Hell Master had seemed so weak wielding it back then. What had once puzzled Lin Moyu now became clear. After some thought, Lin Moyu said, I want that gate. The Other Shore Realm Master stared at him and replied slowly, Are you joking? Make another request. You know I won't agree to this. The gate had been his lifeline, only he truly understood its significance. Even though it hadn't been opened again in millions of years, he would never hand it over. That Lin Moyu dared make such an outrageous request without being immediately expelled was already a testament to the Other Shore Realm Master's restraint. Lin Moyu explained, On the origin continent, I comprehended a technique that devoured fragments of your former hell and grew into a new hell world. My technique contains a gate of hell. I once sought its fragments to open it, but later discovered it was a fake. Some great Tao Lords even speculated that I might be your reincarnation. Since that's the case, let me act as your reincarnation and ask for that gate. I'm not asking you to give it to me permanently, just lend it to me for now. Once my task is complete, I'll return it to you. The Other Shore Realm Master didn't even consider this request before rejecting it outright. Don't bring this up again. That gate will never be yours. Make another request, and I might consider it. If you truly wish to use the gate, you'll have to wait until I've accumulated enough power to open it again, then we can enter together. It was clear he was being generous by offering to share such a private treasure with Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu understood his reasoning. He hoped Lin Moyu could eliminate the world will of the origin continent and avenge him in the process. He was willing to help, but only so much. Lin Moyu had anticipated this outcome and sighed lightly. If you won't act directly or lend me the gate, then there's nothing else I can ask for. The Other Shore Realm Master narrowed his eyes at Lin Moyu. It seems you have other ideas. Sensing Lin Moyu's intentions shift, he grew wary. Lin Moyu didn't deny it. His voice turned cold. The Hell Master is gone. That gate belongs to him alone. Since others see me as his reincarnation, then I'll take back what's rightfully mine. Other Shore Realm Master, I ask that you hand over the gate. If reasoning wouldn't work, then force would have to suffice. Lin Moyu could be reasonable when needed, but not always. In many cases, reasoning simply didn't work. Were great Tao Lords battles ever about reason? If everything could be resolved through negotiation, there would be no wars. Given the Other Shore Realm Master's attitude, Lin Moyu saw no need for further diplomacy. The Other Shore Realm Master unleashed an overwhelming aura. Ripples spread through the void as his world will manifested in its floral form. The red spider lily swayed ominously, scattering endless blue light. His gaze sharpened like a blade aimed at Lin Moyu's soul, as if ready to annihilate him on the spot. His icy voice rang out, For our shared origin on the origin continent, I'll spare you this time. Leave now. If you continue your insolence, I'll kill you. Lin Moyu retorted coldly. It's not that you don't want to kill me, it's that you're unsure if you can. The Other Shore Realm Master laughed angrily. What a ridiculous joke. Do you know my realm? And yours? Killing you is as easy as crushing an ant. Lin Moyu shook his head. Whether or not you can kill me, you know deep down. Enough talk. Either give me the gate or prepare for me to take it by force. The Other Shore Realm Master was enraged. You're courting death. Within the blue light a blazing flame erupted. It was hellfire filled with countless wailing souls that surged toward Lin Moyu. Behind him appeared a molten Great Tao, his Hell Great Tao, which locked onto Lin Moyu with lethal intent. He hadn't planned on sparing Lin Moyu from the start. If he acted, it would be decisive. Lin Moyu stomped lightly. Icy mist from his ice jade lotus platform froze both flames and space alike. Retreat, he commanded softly. Little Python immediately withdrew beyond the blue light's range. Lin Moyu knew too much about red spider lilies. Fighting within their domain was unwise. Moreover, this battle wasn't one he should fight personally. With his second-tier soul level, he was far weaker than the other Shore Realm Master. A void-sealing divine rune activated, and with a roar the five-element giant appeared in midair. The sword Tao spirit followed suit. It couldn't attack directly but transformed into a sword embodying its great Tao essence wielded by the five-element giant. Though unable to unleash its full power, it remained one of the sharpest swords in existence. The five-element giant raised its left hand, activating its prison primordial formation. A network of threads formed from dozens of primordial virtual treasures enveloped heaven and earth. Sensing danger, the other Shore Realm Master retreated swiftly while his whirlwill, the red spider lily, swayed gently. Its blue light brushed aside all threads effortlessly like dust. Sword light flashed. The five-element giant swept its blade across space and petals fell from the red spider lily. It had been injured. The other Shore Realm Master cried out in shock. What kind of sword is this? Lin Moyu replied calmly, a sword capable of cutting you. Since his opponent's initial attack carried killing intent, Lin Moyu saw no reason to hold back either. The five-element giant unleashed a storm of sword strikes, filling space with blinding light as if swept by torrential rainstorms. Amidst furious roars, the Hell Great Tao erupted with endless flames countering sword light, while countless malevolent spirits charged at Lin Moyu directly from within hellfire. Understanding strategy, the other Shore Realm Master targeted Lin Moyu instead of focusing on defeating the five-element giant, believing victory lay in eliminating its master first. But Lin Moyu opened his spatial storage and an undead army emerged in response. These malevolent spirits were merely second-tier souls, not much stronger than his undead forces and certainly fewer in number compared to billions under Lin Moyu's command. As undead clashed with spirits, a chaotic battle unfolded across heaven and earth. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3756, 3756. Chapter 3756. Once there's a first time, there will be a second. Two massive armies clashed violently, both sides unrelenting and focused solely on attacking without any defense. Although second-tier souls were not particularly strong compared to Great Tao Lords, the sheer scale of the battle made it even more spectacular than one involving only Great Tao Lords. After just 2 or 3 collisions, Lin Moyu noticed a fundamental difference between the malevolent spirits from the Hell Great Tao and those from Skeleton Hell. The malevolent spirits from the Hell Great Tao lacked the resilience, combat strength, and ferocity of Skeleton Hell's spirits. Most importantly, they didn't possess the devour everything trait. The spirits from the Hell Great Tao primarily relied on its power to manifest flames that burned enemies. In essence, they remained tied to the nature of the Hell Great Tao itself. In contrast, Lin Moyu's Skeleton Hell spirits genuinely had the ability to devour anything. Even at the Tao Venerable level, they could consume Great Taos. And these weren't just any projections of Great Taos, they were actual Great Taos. If they could devour Great Taos, what couldn't they devour? The distinction between the two was clear. Lin Moyu confirmed that his Skeleton Hell was not derived from the Hell Great Tao. While there might be some connection between them, it had nothing to do with the Hellmaster himself. The fragments of Hell from before were merely nutrients for Skeleton Hell's evolution at most, a particularly unique type of nourishment. The other Shore Realm Master was visibly shocked upon seeing Lin Moyu's vast undead army. With a thought, his red spider lily bloomed, releasing numerous flower spirits at the level of Great Tao Lords. These weren't true Great Tao Lords but flower spirits nurtured by the red spider lily itself. The flower spirits moved as if teleporting, instantly surrounding Lin Moyu from all directions within a distance of less than 100,000 miles. They formed a battle formation and attacked simultaneously. Lin Moyu released a void-sealing divine rune, the Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation materialized just in time to engulf all the flower spirits before they could strike. He then unleashed a cluster of world-burning fire. The fire blended seamlessly with the flames of the Hell Great Tao and entered it. Boom! Flames erupted from the Hell Great Tao as world-burning fire began consuming it. Since the Hell Great Tao was connected to the other Shore Realm Master, the fire quickly spread to him through this link. Screams echoed as flames engulfed his body. Furious, he roared, "What kind of fire is this?" Lin Moyu replied calmly, "The kind that can burn you." At this moment, the five-element giant broke through the flames of the Hell Great Tao and struck repeatedly with its sword, forcing back the Hell Great Tao. The red spider lily swayed wildly and released a large amount of pollen that landed on the five-element giant before exploding violently. However, clad in armor, the five-element giant ignored these explosions and continued swinging its sword at the Worldwill. Petals fell in droves as damage appeared on the Worldwill. The other Shore Realm Master's expression changed drastically, his anger growing fiercer. He had spent countless years nurturing his Worldwill to its current form. If it suffered too much damage, it would revert to its original state, undoing all his efforts. "I'll kill you," he roared as he finally decided to act personally. He produced a drum-shaped treasure and struck it. Boom! A deep sound reverberated as Lin Moyu groaned. His soul trembled violently under an invisible force that seemed intent on tearing it apart. The soul-shattering drum. Lin Moyu recognized this legendary treasure, a weapon specifically designed to target souls and capable of shattering even those of great Tao lords. Boom! Another strike sent cracks through Lin Moyu's soul. "You're doomed after 3 strikes," declared the other Shore Realm Master triumphantly. Lin Moyu quickly retreated into his Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation, hoping to evade further attacks from the soul-shattering drum. He still couldn't figure out how it was locking onto him. There was no detectable force from any heavenly law. The other Shore Realm Master raised his drumstick high. "It's useless, you can't escape." Boom! The third strike landed and Lin Moyu's soul shattered like foam bubbles. With cold eyes, the other Shore Realm Master sneered, "A mere second-tier soul seeking death." Suddenly, a voice echoed, "I'm not so easy to kill." Amidst purple light, Lin Moyu resurrected once more. The other Shore Realm Master's expression shifted dramatically. "Impossible. How are you still alive?" Lin Moyu smiled faintly but didn't bother explaining. Seeing this, the other Shore Realm Master struck his drum again, but this time it had no effect as Lin Moyu remained unharmed within his formation. Lin Moyu remarked, "If I'm not mistaken, the soul-shattering drum relies on cause and effect Great Tao for its targeting. Once locked on, it cannot be escaped, but after 3 strikes it must lock on again. Unfortunately for you, I'm within my formation, so even cause and effect cannot reach me." The other Shore Realm Master growled coldly, "You can't hide forever." Lin Moyu shook his head, "I don't need forever, just long enough." Meanwhile, the five-element giant continued ignoring explosions from Red Spider Lily's pollen. Its damaged armor repaired itself continuously as Xiaoshang wielded its sword, relentlessly carving open a massive breach in this world while forcing back Red Spider Lily repeatedly. As barriers around this world shattered, world-burning fire surged inward unchecked, spreading destruction indiscriminately. Lin Moyu cared little about what lay within. He would burn everything regardless. Hundreds of billions more undead soldiers poured forth like a tidal wave into this world, intent on wreaking havoc. Realizing what was happening, the other Shore Realm Master turned pale. If these undead soldiers infiltrated fully, they would devastate everything he had built over countless years. Roaring in fury, he transformed into a giant himself and rushed to block their entry point at once. Lin Moyu chuckled softly, "You can't stop them." As expected, the five-element giant swung its sword again, forcing him back while shattering his flaming blade in their clash, leaving gaps wide open for undead forces to flood inside unchecked, spreading destruction everywhere they went. Desperate, the other Shore Realm Master recalled Red Spider Lily back into his world to combat invading undead forces directly. But with billions of second-tier souls rampaging freely, even this small world couldn't endure for long. Lin Moyu laughed lightly, "Do you really think you can hold them off?" Enraged, the other Shore Realm Master bellowed, "I'll cut you down." Perhaps in reality his words might have held truth, but here in Soul Void things were different. Both he and his world will operated at reduced strength compared to their full power in reality. Meanwhile, in Soul Void, Lin Moyu wielded overwhelming tools like world-burning fire, the five-element giant, and formations like Thousand Paths, all tipping scales heavily against him. Faced with such disparity, the other Shore Realm Master could only suffer silently, and fatally so. At this moment, the true fire spirit appeared beside Lin Moyu. It couldn't attack directly due to lingering heavenly punishment, but activating true fire Great Tao remained possible. Lin Moyu summoned her primarily as intimidation, a psychological blow against someone who had already lost much courage over time. Once broken, it becomes easier again, and facing mortal danger, the other Shore Realm Master might submit once more. As true fire great Tao manifested visibly, the other shore realm master let out an anguished cry. ko-fi.com/translate-toki only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3757, 3757. Chapter 3757, Time to Move Again. True Fire Great Tao. The other shore realm master's expression was filled with fear. Seeing his reaction, Lin Moyu knew he had guessed correctly. As someone who was once the strongest great Tao lord and now a world master, the other shore realm master had lived for countless years and possessed vast knowledge. There were few great Taos in existence that he wouldn't recognize. He must have entered the origin ancestral land before and was familiar with its situation. He might not recognize the immortality great Tao, as it could only be seen in the returning origin land, but he would undoubtedly recognize the true fire great Tao. The true fire great Tao was rare and immensely powerful, and most importantly, it had a master. The true body great Tao lord of the true fire great Tao could burn true spirits and kill without leaving a trace. Even other great Tao lords found it difficult to resist. The true fire great Tao was one of the most fundamental and powerful great Taos in existence. Upon seeing it, the other shore realm master was terrified. Having schemed and paid a great price to escape from the origin continent, he had barely survived that ordeal. The damage inflicted on him during that time wasn't just to his cultivation but also to his Tao heart. After narrowly escaping with his life, he abandoned his former name and took on the title of Other Shore Realm Master. This was because he couldn't face his past and feared that one day the world will of the origin continent would come for him again. His Tao heart had been shattered at that moment. Lin Moyu had keenly captured this weakness during their conversation. This was the true vulnerability of the Other Shore Realm Master. After repeatedly breaking his resolve, placing him in yet another life or death crisis where escape seemed impossible, Lin Moyu believed he might once again submit. A cultivator's Tao heart is their strongest asset, but once broken, it becomes their greatest weakness. The manifestation of the true fire great Tao genuinely frightened the Other Shore Realm Master. His voice trembled as he asked, "Why has the true fire great Tao appeared? What is your connection to its master?" Lin Moyu replied, "You were once called the Hell Master. That was your ambition, to become the true body great Tao lord of the Hell great Tao and send it into the returning origin land to become the true Hell Master. Unfortunately, you failed. You've lost that qualification. Hand over the gate to me, or I will destroy your world, burn your true spirit, and reduce you to ashes." Lin Moyu's voice was cold and merciless, matching the rising temperature in the void around them. The temperature climbed at an eerie rate. It grew hotter and hotter despite there being no visible flames. Even the Hell Great Tao began emitting heat. Its flames lost their vigor under this overwhelming heat. Only world-burning fire continued burning unabated, unaffected by anything else. This indicated that world-burning fire was on par with or perhaps even stronger than the true fire Great Tao. The Other Shore Realm Master's expression showed hesitation. His sharp demeanor faded as he began weighing Lin Moyu's words, choosing between treasure and survival. Lin Moyu knew his opponent's Tao heart had suffered a massive crack. His path of cultivation was ruined. There was no chance of returning to his peak. Perhaps the Hell Master of old would have chosen death over surrender, but not this version of him. Lin Moyu said, "I'll give you one last chance. Give me the gate, and I'll spare you and heal your injuries." "I'm not referring to your current injuries but those from long ago." His words were like a lifeline for someone drowning instinctively. The Other Shore Realm Master clung to this hope. "Can you really heal my injuries?" He no longer addressed himself as this seat, signaling a clear shift in attitude. Lin Moyu replied, "Yes." The Other Shore Realm Master asked, "How can I trust you?" Lin Moyu snorted coldly, "You have no choice. That gate cannot be destroyed or taken away. If necessary, I'll kill you and ask Discernment Beast for help. With just one piece of primordial origin treasure material, it can retrieve the gate for me. It would be slightly inconvenient for me, but you would vanish forever." Lin Moyu's words struck like thunder, shattering what remained of the Other Shore Realm Master's defenses. Having already experienced one shattering of his Tao heart before, it crumbled once more under Lin Moyu's threats. Faced with Lin Moyu's ultimatum, he chose survival. "Fine, I'll give it to you." A ball of light appeared in his hand and floated toward Lin Moyu, transforming into something resembling a key. The Other Shore Realm Master added, "The gate isn't here, this is its key. Using cause and effect Great Tao, you can locate it. Back then I threw it into the world mist. Its whereabouts are unknown." Lin Moyu asked softly, "Why?" The other Shore Realm Master explained, because someone else was searching for it too. Lin Moyu frowned. Not the world will. The other Shore Realm Master shook his head. No, it was someone who appeared after I opened the gate, a powerful and strange entity. I was gravely injured at that time, so I discarded it to save my life, keeping only this key. Lin Moyu wasn't entirely convinced, so this gate might already be in someone else's hands. The other Shore Realm Master shook his head again. Unlikely, it could only sense both me and the gate together, not separately. Such an odd occurrence exceeded Lin Moyu's expectations once more. However, it was clear that initially the other Shore Realm Master hadn't been truthful. The gate had never been in his possession during their encounter. Back then, to save himself, he had abandoned everything, including his pride. With a thought, Lin Moyu recalled all undead soldiers. World-burning fire extinguished itself. Even true fire, great Tao, faded away. The five-element giant ceased its actions, and Lin Moyu withdrew his thousand paths and myriad images formation. Everything returned to calm, though traces of world-burning fire still lingered on the other Shore Realm Master's soul. His world bore scars from battle. Its world will suffer damage, requiring extensive time, perhaps tens or hundreds of thousands of years, to recover fully. There's one more question, Lin Moyu said while holding up his catastrophic scepter. Where did you get this scepter? The other Shore Realm Master gazed at it and murmured, I didn't expect this scepter would end up in your hands. Surprisingly, there was no greed in his eyes, which puzzled Lin Moyu given how valuable such an item was. With a sigh, the other Shore Realm Master explained, I obtained it after entering through that gate. It was one of my first discoveries, but I knew it didn't belong to me. I could wield its power and it was strong, but each use came with backlash. The backlash grew worse each time until eventually I couldn't bear it anymore. I kept it as a last resort but avoided using it whenever possible. Lin Moyu asked curiously, what happened to its 5 gemstones? The other Shore Realm Master replied, when I found it, the gemstones were already gone. Their residual power remained but diminished with each use until nothing was left. When I feigned death, the scepter's remaining power was exhausted. I couldn't endure its backlash any longer, so I abandoned it entirely. It made my deception more convincing against the world will. He sighed deeply before adding solemnly, you've recovered 3 gemstones. It seems you're its rightful owner after all. Knowing there wasn't much more to learn, Lin Moyu produced 10 soul flowers. I keep my promises. These flowers can heal your injuries. Though skeptical, the other Shore Realm Master could sense their extraordinary nature. Lin Moyu reassured him, you can test one first. I seek only treasure, not your life. Reluctantly, the other Shore Realm Master followed Lin Moyu's instructions, activating one flower before entering it. Encased within the flower began healing him, and Lin Moyu could feel his soul gradually recovering. Over countless years his old wounds had never fully healed, but one flower alone could almost completely mend them. Sometimes gains outweigh losses and vice versa. Judging that 3 flowers would suffice for full recovery, Lin Moyu left 7 as goodwill, a gesture acknowledging past connections through hell fragments consumed by skeleton hell, a matter of cause and effect balance. Seeing signs of recovery, Lin Moyu departed swiftly without lingering further. Flying far away afterward, Little Python asked curiously, Master, you're not waiting for him to fully recover? Lin Moyu shook his head. No need, he won't want to see me again. We may never meet again. He knew well enough that after this encounter the other Shore Realm Master would likely move again. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3758. 3758. Chapter 3758. Boundless Merit. Little Python carried Lin Moyu through the chaotic mist as Lin Moyu reflected on recent events. The outcome of his encounter with the other Shore Realm Master was not guaranteed. It involved a series of calculated moves, relentless pressure, and exploiting unexpected developments, all targeting the other Shore Realm Master's shattered Tao heart. It wasn't until the appearance of the true fire spirit and the manifestation of the true fire great Tao that the other Shore Realm Master finally capitulated. Even so, Lin Moyu had only been 70% confident that things would proceed as planned and that the other Shore Realm Master would hand over the treasure. In the end, while he did obtain what he sought, it was merely a key. The treasure itself had long since disappeared. Moreover, he learned of another enemy lurking in the shadows, also seeking this treasure. If Lin Moyu chose not to pursue it, he could simply ignore this matter. The hidden enemy would have nothing to do with him. But if he decided to search for it, he would have to bear the burden of this cause and effect, a risk with uncertain rewards. After much thought, Lin Moyu concluded that if his plan was to succeed, obtaining and unlocking that gate was essential. Only by doing so could figures like the third ancestor deceive the world will of the origin continent, gain their freedom, seize worlds, and evolve their own world wills. Without this step, his chances of success were slim. Failure seemed inevitable. He had once hoped that the Hell Master might act out of vengeance to assist him, but now it was clear he had misjudged. The Hell Master's shattered Tao heart meant he was truly gone. Ambitious as you were, you weren't worthy of being called the Hell Master, Lin Moyu muttered with a hint of mockery in his tone. Names are merely labels, but they aren't given lightly. In cultivation realms, those at the great Tao level are called Tao Lords. Those at higher levels ascend step by step from projections to true bodies and eventually to the returning origin land to become true masters of great Taos. In Lin Moyu's eyes, the former Hell Master was just an ordinary Tao Lord. Even true body Tao Lords wouldn't dare call themselves masters of great Taos unless they had entered the returning origin land. Once full of ambition, he had been struck down from his pedestal, reduced to nothing. Now all he could do was remain content as a world master, still powerful but forever barred from achieving eternity. This world is unforgiving. Sometimes a misstep can be corrected, other times it leads to irreversible consequences. Lin Moyu sighed. It was yet another form of Tao struggle, a battle over Tao hearts, often more bitter than physical conflict. Little Python seemed to sense Lin Moyu's mood and asked, "Master seems troubled." Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, "A little, but it's nothing serious. Don't you ever have worries?" Little Python thought for a moment, "Not really, we virtual beasts just want to stay alive and eat." Lin Moyu replied, "Sometimes not having to think too much is a blessing." Little Python kept things simple, "Master, where are we headed next?" Lin Moyu said, "I've completed my tasks in the World Tree Great Spirit Domain, but I'd like to visit Spring Encounter Small Spirit Domain's trading market. It'll be a good opportunity to see how order is maintained here." After orienting himself, Lin Moyu released a streak of fire toward his destination. He only remembered Spring Encounter Small Spirit Domain's general location. Specifics could be clarified upon arrival. He had no intention of consulting the Spirit Domain compass again. Something about that compass felt off. It seemed problematic. When I reach the trading market, I should trade this compass for something else, Lin Moyu thought as he took out the key he had obtained and began examining it. At first glance, the key appeared ordinary, its only distinguishing feature being its slightly ancient design. Upon closer inspection, Lin Moyu noticed intricate patterns on its surface. His eyes lit up. It's a divine rune. The patterns on the key formed part of a divine rune, a crucial core element. With his understanding of divine rune formations, Lin Moyu deduced that this rune was extraordinarily complex, perhaps rivaling those formed by interwoven great Taos in the origin ancestral land. In his mind's eye, Lin Moyu began visualizing what the gate might look like. Only when this key was inserted into its corresponding slot and completed its rune could the gate be activated. Additionally, opening the gate would require immense power. This gate was undoubtedly extraordinary, its secrets unknown for now. For now, Lin Moyu couldn't fully decipher it. Finding the gate would require mastery over cause and effect great Tao, a skill he lacked. Thus, he needed someone proficient in cause and effect great Tao or an appropriate treasure for assistance. Cause and effect treasures were rare on the origin continent, and revealing this key there would be unwise. The world will must have seen it before. If it recognized it again, who knew what might happen? Hopefully I'll find something useful at the trading market, Lin Moyu murmured as he put away the key. After several days of flying through multiple small spirit domains within the World Tree Great Spirit Domain, Lin Moyu sensed he was nearing Spring Encounter Small Spirit Domain. The World Tree Great Spirit Domain felt larger than Golden Furnace Great Spirit Domain by comparison. Crossing another vacuum zone, a new small spirit domain came into view. As soon as he saw it, Lin Moyu felt an inexplicable certainty. This was Spring Encounter Small Spirit Domain. He had arrived. Even before entering, the air carried gentle breezes mixed with faint wisps of mist. In Soul Void's hazy expanse a subtle vitality emerged like dead wood sprouting new growth in springtime. Drawing closer, he saw an enormous branch spanning most of this small spirit domain. Scattered across its surface were massive green leaves resembling entire worlds unto themselves. Activating his undead eye, Lin Moyu observed countless soul flames flickering atop these leaves, a bustling hub teeming with cultivators. Most were at great Tao levels, some were even at Tao Lord levels. Upon entering Spring Encounter Small Spirit Domain, the sense of vitality grew stronger, emanating from both branches and leaves alike. The branches of World Tree extended throughout this entire Great Spirit Domain, and this was just one among many. Under joint efforts by Human Sovereign and World Tree Emperor, they had transformed Spring Encounter small spirit domain into a trading hub governed by strict rules ensuring order prevailed. Lin Moyu appreciated their efforts. It benefited all cultivators immensely. After reaching great Tao levels, refining treasures often required rare materials unavailable within one's own world, necessitating external searches fraught with danger and inefficiency. For Tao lords, the need for materials became even more pressing and often unattainable within their own worlds alone. A good treasure could turn tides in battle or even save lives, and both real-world cultivators and those in Soul Void searched tirelessly like headless flies, facing constant risks with minimal results. Trading markets mitigated these dangers significantly while boosting efficiency, allowing bartering between cultivators. This fostered stronger individuals overall, increasing humanity's strength collectively. What an act of boundless merit, Lin Moyu thought admiringly, gaining newfound respect for Human Sovereign's vision. As he approached, a figure flew toward him before stopping respectfully at a distance. "Greetings, Senior. Do you require guidance?" It was a woman with an 8th tier soul level who bowed politely while offering her assistance. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3759, 3759. Chapter 3759, The Human Sovereign's Purpose. The World Tree Great Spirit domain was dominated by humanity, and within the trading market, over 90% of the participants were human. The woman before Lin Moyu was an innate 8th tier soul cultivator at the Great Tao level, a remarkable existence in any world. Yet here, amidst a trading market filled with Great Tao cultivators, she seemed quite ordinary. Lin Moyu glanced at her and asked, "A guide? What do I need to pay?" The woman's eyes lit up slightly upon hearing Lin Moyu's interest. "Senior, you only need to pay 1 soul pearl." Soul pearls. Lin Moyu had never heard of them before. However, he wasn't concerned. Soul pearls likely weren't particularly valuable, and he was confident he could find a substitute if needed. As Lin Moyu observed her, he noted that even as a soul body, her unique aura as a Great Tao cultivator was unmistakable. She wore an exquisite soul garment that radiated a soft glow, complementing her beautiful appearance and giving her an ethereal presence akin to a celestial maiden. Such a figure should have been revered in the real world, worshipped by thousands and standing above all. Why would she be working as a guide here for just 1 soul pearl? Unless the world she came from was so saturated with Great Tao cultivators that even someone like her was unremarkable. Lin Moyu asked, "What's your name?" The woman's clear voice rang out as she bowed again. "Junior Chin Chin greets you," Lin Moyu said. "Then introduce this place to me." Chin Chin smiled faintly with joy. "Very well. Senior must be visiting Spring Encounter small spirit domain for the first time, and you're not from the World Tree Great Spirit domain either." Lin Moyu raised an eyebrow. "What makes you say that?" Chin Chin explained. "Because of the virtual beast at your feet. In our domain, due to the relationship between the Human Sovereign and the World Tree Emperor, cultivators here hunt virtual beasts, and there are often conflicts between small spirit domain kings and cultivators." She paused briefly before glancing at Little Python and continuing, "But cultivators here do not keep virtual beasts as pets." Lin Moyu asked, "Is that so absolute?" Chin Chin nodded firmly. "Yes, which is why Senior must not be from this domain." Lin Moyu inquired further, "And how do you know this is my first time here?" Chin Chin replied, "Because virtual beasts are not allowed into the trading market. If Senior proceeds further, the formation will activate and expel your virtual beast." Lin Moyu chuckled. "I see. Little Python, go wait inside for now." Little Python responded promptly, "As you wish, Master." Lin Moyu casually threw out a divine rune to contain Little Python within it before storing it in his spatial space. Chin Chin looked surprised. "Senior's virtual beast has intelligence." Lin Moyu replied nonchalantly, "What's so strange about that?" While virtual beasts were generally not highly intelligent, there were exceptions, something Lin Moyu had always considered normal. Chin Chin explained, "To our knowledge, virtual beasts lack intelligence unless they become small spirit domain kings." This revelation made Lin Moyu reflect on his experiences in the World Tree Great Spirit domain. Indeed, all the virtual beasts he had encountered here acted purely on instinct without any sign of intelligence. This distinction set the World Tree Great Spirit domain apart from others like Golden Furnace. It seemed each domain had its unique characteristics. Chin Chin proved to be talkative as she led Lin Moyu into the trading market. Spring Encounter small spirit domain housed 9 trading markets, all situated atop massive leaves. Each leaf was vast akin to a small world and all 9 leaves grew from a single branch. The 9 trading markets were numbered from 1 to 9, arranged from bottom to top. The 9th market stood high above, reserved exclusively for the human sovereign's realm. Only powerful figures from that realm could conduct business there. Great Tao lords were common, and Great Tao cultivators were everywhere. These 9 markets collectively hosted more than half of all Great Tao cultivators and lords within the World Tree Great Spirit domain, the exact number unknown. Knowing it was Lin Moyu's first visit, Qin Qin explained soul pearls to him. Soul pearls served as the universal currency within the trading market. While bartering was common among cultivators, soul pearls provided an alternative when no suitable items for exchange were available. Soul pearls were jointly created by the human sovereign and World Tree Emperor, impossible for outsiders to counterfeit. Beyond their use as currency, soul pearls also aided cultivation. They contained both real and illusory power that could be refined to enhance one's cultivation, a highly effective method reportedly superior to hunting virtual beasts for soul essence. Many traded treasures for large quantities of soul pearls specifically for cultivation purposes with excellent results. Hearing about their benefits clarified things for Lin Moyu. It was evident that the human sovereign had done much to aid humanity's cultivation efforts. After reaching the Great Tao level, progress slowed significantly, a challenge faced by countless cultivators on the origin continent as well. Unable to endure their slow comprehension of Taos, many resorted to hunting virtual beasts in soul void for soul essence, a dangerous endeavor that claimed many lives. With soul pearls available, such risks could be avoided entirely while greatly accelerating cultivation speed. However, creating soul pearls required collaboration between emperors, imbuing them with real illusory power at an extremely high cost. Another act of boundless merit, Lin Moyu thought with admiration. The human sovereign's actions had undoubtedly reached heights few could achieve, but Lin Moyu pondered deeper motives behind them. He believed there must be benefits for the human sovereign at such levels of power. It was unlikely he acted without purpose. Having become a master of great Taos and entered the returning origin land, eternal and indestructible, what more could he seek? For now Lin Moyu lacked sufficient understanding to grasp the human sovereign's ultimate goals fully. From what he could see, the human sovereign's efforts greatly benefited humanity within the World Tree Great Spirit domain, countless individuals reaping rewards from his actions. Qin Qin led Lin Moyu into Market 1, the lowest tier among trading markets and typically where newcomers began their journey. Items traded here were relatively low tier, but occasionally treasures could still be found amidst them. Qin Qin explained further, in this market rank doesn't matter, only transaction volume counts. Once senior completes transactions totaling 100 soul pearls, you may proceed to Market 2. A transaction volume of 300 soul pearls grants access to Market 3, but entering Market 4 requires 1,000 soul pearls, with requirements increasing exponentially thereafter. Every place had its rules and Lin Moyu accepted this without issue. He remarked, "I don't have any soul pearls on me." Qin Qin reassured him, "That's normal for first-time visitors. The human sovereign and World Tree Emperor have established exchange centers within each market where senior can obtain soul pearls. However, soul pearls acquired through exchanges don't count toward transaction volume." Lin Moyu asked, "How is transaction volume calculated?" Qin Qin smiled mysteriously, "You'll understand when you reach the exchange center, they'll explain everything clearly. I wouldn't want to risk giving incorrect information. ko-fi.com/translate-toki, only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a. Chapter 3760, 3760. Chapter 3760, Soul Towers and Soul Pearls. Qin Qin repeatedly emphasized that it wasn't her unwillingness to explain the rules to Lin Moyu, but rather that some regulations needed to be heard directly to avoid misunderstandings. This gave Lin Moyu the impression that the trading market's rules must be extremely strict. It also highlighted how meticulously the human sovereign and World Tree Emperor managed the market. Based on Lin Moyu's current level of insight, he could easily deduce that both rulers must benefit significantly from the market, even as they provided great advantages to cultivators. It wasn't just the human sovereign pursuing something clearly, the World Tree Emperor had ambitions of his own. When they arrived at the Soul Pearl Exchange Center, Lin Moyu saw a structure made of illusory materials, suspended midair by formations and connected to a leaf of the World Tree. The leaf exuded vibrant life force while merging with an incomprehensible energy that linked it seamlessly to the structure and its formations. Though there was no physical connection between them, they felt like a unified entity. Similar structures dotted the leaf's surface, too many to count. Chin Chin led Lin Moyu into one of these exchange centers. Inside, spatial formations expanded the interior into a vast space capable of accommodating tens of thousands of people. Hundreds of counters were set up inside, each manned by a great Dao cultivator assisting with soul pearl exchanges. Many people were already exchanging soul pearls, forming orderly queues at every counter. It was evident that everyone here adhered strictly to the rules. There was no noise or line cutting, everyone behaved impeccably. In one corner of the room sat a Dao Lord with closed eyes. Lin Moyu only glanced at him briefly but immediately recognized his immense strength far surpassing that of an ordinary Dao Lord. Chin Chin found a queue with fewer people and said, "Senior, let's line up here." Lin Moyu nodded. The people here seem quite disciplined. Chin Chin pointed toward the Dao Lord in the corner. With Divine Light Dao Lord present, no one dares cause trouble. In the past, those who misbehaved were killed on the spot. Lin Moyu asked, "Is he that powerful?" Chin Chin nodded enthusiastically. "Extremely powerful. Divine Light Dao Lord is one of the human sovereign's disciples. He can kill other Dao Lords effortlessly. So he was a disciple of the human sovereign. It made sense for him to be this formidable." Lin Moyu stopped paying attention to him and instead observed those waiting in line. Some held various treasures or materials in their hands. Others carried trays holding small towers, all identical, that emitted significant soul power. Lin Moyu asked, "What are those trays?" Chin Chin explained, "Those are soul towers. You can exchange soul pearls using treasures or materials, but if you don't have any, you can use a soul tower instead. You inject your soul power into the tower, which purifies it by removing impurities and retaining only its essence. Once enough soul power is stored in the tower, you can bring it here to exchange for soul pearls." Lin Moyu quickly understood the purpose of soul towers. They were designed to collect cultivators' soul power. If someone lacked treasures or materials but wanted soul pearls, they could use a soul tower to contribute their own soul power. Since soul power naturally replenishes over time, as long as one managed their usage carefully, this method wouldn't harm them. This approach essentially allowed cultivators to trade their time for soul pearls, a fair system. Chin Chin elaborated further. Soul towers were free for any great Dao cultivator to claim. According to her, this system provided opportunities for less fortunate great Dao cultivators to earn soul pearls. By offering their soul power in exchange for pearls, they could then trade for other items or use them for cultivation. While effective, this method was slow. It required years of effort for meaningful gains. Still, it was much faster than what most great Dao cultivators faced on the origin continent. This method suited weaker great Dao cultivators. Stronger ones would naturally seek treasures or materials for faster exchanges. Lin Moyu observed his surroundings. The light emitted by each soul tower varied in color, primarily white, yellow, and red. He asked, "What's the difference between these colors?" Chin Chin explained, "The color determines how many soul pearls can be exchanged. White towers yield 1 or 2 pearls, yellow towers yield 5 to 10, red towers yield 15 to 20. This depends on the quality of the stored soul power. The higher its quality, the more pearls it earns." Lin Moyu nodded. This made sense since there were significant differences in soul power quality among cultivators. For instance, those who comprehended branch great Daos had vastly inferior soul power compared to those mastering origin great Daos. He asked, "Is red the best?" Chin Chin shook her head. "No, red is only mid-tier. Above it is black, which yields at least 50 pearls, and above black is purple, though I've never seen one myself." From her tone, it was clear Chin Chin had spent considerable time in this trading market. "You work as a guide here just to earn these few pearls?" Lin Moyu asked curiously. Chin Chin replied cheerfully, "It's already quite good. Senior, you'd need at least a month to fill a white tower with enough soul power and another month to recover afterward for just 2 pearls. But guiding someone like you takes only a day and I earn 1 pearl. That's much faster." Lin Moyu remarked, "But you can't get clients every day." Chin Chin laughed. "True, but I get clients every few days. That's enough for me. Plus I've gained experience. I can tell at a glance who might need guidance." Indeed, she had approached Lin Moyu because she recognized him as a first-time visitor. For some cultivators, a single pearl might mean little, but hiring a guide to familiarize themselves with their surroundings could still be worthwhile. Jokingly, Lin Moyu asked, "What if someone comes without any pearls?" Chin Chin replied confidently, "That rarely happens. Most people know about this market and prepare treasures or materials beforehand, or have elders who give them pearls directly. If someone truly has nothing, they can claim a soul tower and start gathering power for exchange. Besides, with formations set up by the human sovereign and emperor, they wouldn't dare default on payments. Transactions within the market where binding reneging would result in punishment. In fact, a Dao Lord once broke these rules and was killed instantly. It was rumored that an avatar of the human sovereign resided within the market capable of killing Dao Lords effortlessly. Finally, it was Lin Moyu's turn at one counter manned by a 6th-tier soul great Dao cultivator who spoke flatly. "Present your identity token." Lin Moyu replied calmly. "I'm here for the first time, I don't have one." The attendant glanced at him briefly, seemingly surprised that a 2nd-tier great Dao cultivator hadn't visited before, but said nothing further. He produced a blank jade token and instructed, "Inject a wisp of your soul power into this and record your name. It cannot be changed once entered. ko-fi.com/translate-toki. Only donate if you want to. My Patreon is now up. Go to email protected translate toki. Remove the @ symbol and type a